I think we're up and running. I hope so.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. Welcome here to a fun Labor Day weekend Sunday here with us at Ages Past, doing a little D&D before the Monday holiday for the rest of us to kind of enjoy at our own
Hooray!
time and place. But today, we will be enjoying the adventures and the dangers inside this fantasy world that we've created. I am your DM for today, and I have with me,
Every day.
of course, every day. Well, not every day. What? DM every day.
Every Sunday.
Every day.
We have yet to have another DM step in on Sunday, so you're pretty much a permanent DM at this point.
Every Sunday, but yes. And I have, of course, 4 players here that you can see with me, each of which who I appreciate and really do love their characters so much. So if you see any terror or drama or death on the line, just know I really don't want to kill you.
Foreshadowing.
Wow, that's
just
like
know
a really
that.
big disclaimer.
Always
Pull the
know that.
punches. We get fucked up. Fuck us up.
So hang in there,
Gonna have
because
to
we'll see.
stop.
We'll see what happens on this bumpy road. But let's introduce them to everyone, so you can all learn the names and faces of the people who are going through this turmoil. Starting off with the ladies.
I don't want to.
Yeah, she,
I'm Kayla. I'm playing Valindra. She's a half elf, half tiefling, level 3 fighter. And she used to have
Sorry.
and most adorable and most perfect in every way little tiny fennec fox named Winnie, but now she doesn't anymore.
well, technically you do.
He's dead. It doesn't count if he's dead.
He's there, but he's there. Yep. That's number 1. Number 2.
Oh shit, that's me. Hi, I'm Scott, and I am playing Varka Stormcaller, the recently self-discovered half-dragon forge cleric.
Yes.
And that's it.
I still call you half dragonborn, but yes, you are half dragon.
Well, I'm not. I am a half-dragon now.
Yes, we'll have to get used to adjusting our vocabulary to fit your new status. Next on the lineup, of course, we have our black and feathered friend.
Well, that'd be me.
Yeah.
I'm Cody, and I play Rook, the half tiefling, half kenku, inquisitive rogue.
And of course, sorry, last
Always
but never
last.
least. Last but never least.
Hey, I'm Connor, and I am playing Smoky Cloud, the half Tabaxi, half Fire Ganassi Abjuration Wizard.
Yes. And of course, all 4 of you have been adventuring in the Valley of Florin in the world of Florin. So, yeah, lots of F words to go along with some of the other F words you guys, I'm sure, are churning out.
A lot of F words going
Yeah, a
on.
lot of F words.
I have a few favorites.
But let us do
Fallen. Fallen's a good one for Fox Winnie. Fallen Fox.
Fennec.
Fallen Fennec Fox, yes, the 3 Fs.
3 Fs.
You guys.
So,
Put an F in chat. Favorite bits.
before we get into the recap, let us remind you all that we do operate every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here, and you can, as you join us, accumulate loyalty points, which you can spend to influence the game by providing the players with inspiration to help them in those critical moments when a dice might fail them, and they need to succeed on those critical saves or desperate checks. Now, we also have games that operate on Monday, Tuesday, and sometimes Friday, and Wednesday soon as well. Now, of course, you will also be accumulating points to spend there, so be sure to check us out on any day you can, and come in and sit for a spell. But for today, let us get a recap going for what happened last week to our party members when they were exploring the city of Trilak.
Here comes the salt. Get that wound ready.
Now, just before you had arrived to the city, you took out what appeared to be a nasty bone ghoul that you had pursued you from Bylok before. Slaying it, though it had abducted a few of you, took you in its grasp, and nearly throttled you to death. Luckily, you were able to not only defeat it, but assemble all of its remains into an urn and bring it into the city, where you later discovered, with Lulu's help, that she had acquired a location deep in the old district for you to purify the remains. With a bit of planning and well-thought efforts, you all turned in for the night. Unbeknownst to the rest of you, Valindra was visited by her patron in the night, informing her of his disapproval of her slight deviation from the intended path, giving her a stern warning as well as a bit of punishment. She found that her powers had been cut off and that which allowed Winnie to be alive again was severed from his body, and now he just remains as a lifeless corpse. With a bit of despair and trouble going through party member and other means to try and solve this dilemma, you currently have found very little in a way to try and bring Winnie back, unless you perhaps satisfy the patron's request. Now, with that, you all continued your way into the city, did the tasks at hand, went to a very large cathedral that seemed to be operated by Rook's family. His particular, you could say, birds of a feather, that resided in this didn't recognize you, luckily, with the seeming illusion from Smokey, giving you passage inside with little trouble as you went in, purified the remains, and Varkesh and Smokey stepping into the shallow water where a large bear-like creature performed the ceremony, not only removing the curse and taint from you and the urn, but also the magic that seemed to conceal you, revealing you to be who you truly were, surprising a few of the onlookers as they saw this, but the bear didn't really question too much at that time, as you call him, the Bath Bear, yes. But with a bit of ceremony and greetings and thanks, you finished up your task there, and also discovered some information in the local library, learning about patrons and gods and other greater forces that exist in the world, to try and see if you could find a solution or an alternative for Valindra in her current state. With a little bit of understanding about the divine and an attempt to try and see if you could perhaps persuade her to maybe open up towards the dragon blood in Varkesh, or to maybe seek out another patron, everyone seemed to be befuddled and bewildered until Lulu offered her own help, but not much was given except that she did seem to inform you that she is also a warlock who... You do not know her patron by name, but she does seem to have a strong connection with some individual that has granted her power, and has allowed her to be what she is currently. With that information tucked into your belts, it is down to the rest of you to determine what you wish to do for the evening, as Varkesh locked himself away to make a nice coffin for Winnie to be carried in.
It's not a coffin, it's a temporary bread box.
A container. While the other three went to Valindra's room in an attempt to try and make a plan out for the rest of the day and perhaps the next day, as it is about 2 p.m. So, with you three now settled in front of Valindra, what would you wish to do?
So, I think I'm right in saying that Varkesh wants kind of a break from his daddy quest. I mean, and Rook, you said you had some stuff to do here in Trilok. I mean, is there much more you need to check up on here?
Yes, of course. I've hardly begun to check on anybody yet. I was in the cathedral, though, for a short time. That doesn't really allow us any insight into what may be going on there, but frankly, that's not the main matter of import right now. Valindra, we may have found some suitable next steps for you.
Oh, you may be muted.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Moment ruined.
Oh my god, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Cool. Don't know why I did that. Okay, next steps.
Yeah.
Well, at the very least, some potential patrons who may be able to assist you in the return of Winnie and your powers. Yes, well, he reaches into his pack and pulls out a piece of paper. Well, there's a number of the more known gods, of course. There's those members of the Sainted Nine with a grudge against that which is undead. Forest Father, the Judge Seer, the Life Shaper, and...
Anything that has a grudge against the undead isn't going to bring Winnie back. Winnie is undead.
Yes, of course. And then, of course, there's one that I managed to find that truthfully seems much more promising to me. A being by the name of the Ebon Empress. They don't really have a known name, but we do have a way that we could potentially contact them. Their domain is over that of death. Just general control over death, even a goddess of eternal slumber and souls. If any could restore the soul of Winnie to its body, I think it would be her. Few have been known to seek her power in the past simply for the fact that death is an uncomfortable circumstance, as I'm sure you are well aware. But her symbol is anything of pure black, and that may well be able to open us a way to converse with her.
Do I know anything about the Ebon Empress?
Make a religion check.
I would ask you about locked in my room.
No. I'm not good at these. 1 second, roll 20 is being really slow.
As she thinks hard.
Oh.
I have advantage because I'm having a bad day.
You know, maybe perhaps that someone has conversed about Grim Reapers or Wraiths, things that, take souls into the afterlife. There's discussion of that, but specifically the name you're not familiar with, though the idea of a god or deity that does this is not beyond your understanding.
I mean, would she bring him back, or is she more like a chauffeur taking souls eternally away?
Well, that would depend on what sort of deal you could strike with her. I think it's reasonable that she could return your friend to you until such a time as your contract is no longer valid, as long as you were to pledge to perhaps remove a source of a greater undead curse, such as Draken. He's reaching out and attempting to come back, and I sincerely doubt a shepherd of souls would wish to see that happen.
I don't know. This is a lot.
Yeah. And also, I mean, there's another thing we found out is that Miss Lulu is actually a warlock.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, she kind of let slip that she also is, contracted to a higher power, and that she gets orders every now and again, and in exchange she gets some magic. And from the way she was talking, she was kind of trying to play it down, but I get the feeling that she pretty much thinks herself on our level, if not higher.
So she could have been helping. Okay, no, hold on. Who is she?
She didn't say who her patron is.
I mean, do you know what type?
I haven't seen her use magic, so no. I mean, I don't think you ever... No.
Have we seen her use magic?
Yes, you have.
Have we?
Yes.
Is this going to be something blatantly obvious, but it's so stupid that we forgot it?
The most obvious use of her magic was when she was in the Trader's Hall at River Run. She would slowly cast a message spell and whisper to someone, and then return back to you.
Oh.
But you can't really pick up what kind of...
No, but you could tell that she seemed to be doing that, and she received a message and would reply back to all
He's
of you.
a caster.
So you've seen her use magic to a small extent.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you could ask her if her patron's looking for new people. I don't know if they have any ability to bring back Winnie, though.
I don't think that any being that Lulu would align herself with is one that I would care to get entangled with.
All right.
Definitely something worth trying to find out about, just for curiosity's sake.
Good to know one's own employer, yes.
This is...
I mean, if you want, I could, because all that we need to make like a black artifact, I can do that with magic really easily. So if you want to just like me to make you something that you can kind of just, meditate with for a bit, see if anything happens.
Yeah, I guess it's worth looking into.
It's best you have an offer in mind before you make contact.
I just want Winnie back. I mean, if she can't help with that, then it's not worth it to me.
Yes, well, terms will have to be set for it. It's a contractual thing from my understanding of this art. Everything that I've seen implies that. So you must be able and willing to offer something of your services to her in order to gain Winnie back.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have 2 of the artifacts that Draken needs to rise again. I know where a third one is. I can't imagine that she would say no to that.
Well, there you have it. There's that, and well, contracts generally speaking, from this sort of thing, I would imagine that this would need to be an ongoing thing.
Sure, I'll give it a go. Okay, do I know anything about rebranding myself as a warlock? Like, do I know of the consequences and complications of aligning yourselves to two different beings?
Make an Arcana check.
Give it up on you.
Oh, I'm really bad at this. Oh
my
wow,
god!
Wow!
Roll 20, just twisting the dagger.
Even I think that's unfair.
Yeah, it was a bit of a so okay. What you know is that dear me, that popped out. That should not be there. Let's just get rid of that altogether.
That sounded
Oops, I
weird.
meant to say you had advantage on that. Oops, or
as
like...
in like a little pop-up just came up right there. Just got rid of that. Okay. So what you do know is that the magic that is aligned between you and your patron is a conduit, a connection, a line that allows you to be able to exchange magic. And whether or not that conduit is something that you could have with one or you could have with multiple, you don't know. You just know that that's the line that gives you what you need to cast the spells you do. And at the moment when you sense and feel for the line that comes from your current patron, it feels as if the magic is diminished or at least stopped a bit, like a dam has been put in place to prevent it from making its way to you. That's all you can know, really.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Brooke, we got the rest of the day. Do you want to start hitting up your contacts, or is there anything that, I mean, Varkesh seems busy, Valindra may be a little busy with her praying. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Right this moment, I will... What should suffice for this? Could you make me appear as another Kenku without these horns? Something similar to the garb that Reginald was wearing when we saw him earlier. The Kenku in the sanctuary.
Turn him into a pigeon.
I mean, I could, and I could do the same spell that I did last time, but I mean, I might as well get all of us, I guess. And that would last you for 8 hours. I could do it again, yeah. Okay. In that case, I will go ahead and I'll cast Seeming on myself, Valindra, and Rook. Rook will he'll sort of describe what he wants to be wearing and just like slightly off Kenku stuff. Actually, what I would start with, I'd do a minor illusion of him, and then he would just like tell me what to change, so I know exactly what he would like to look like.
Okay.
And then Valindra and me would just be standard humans.
You're both still currently under the influence of the spell. Only Rook
I'm
is
not.
Only you. That's right. Yeah. So Rook and her are both still under the same face.
Yeah, but it's about to end. I think it was going to end at like, because I started at like 8. It only had 2 more hours or so. So.
Yeah. So it's down to you if you guys wish to tweak it from what you currently are looking like.
Yeah, I'll make it slightly different.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, just giving a little bit of a tweak. Nose changed in length, a little fattening, a little narrowing here and there. But yeah, certainly. So you 3 have all been refreshed with the seeming spell, lasting another 8 hours. So until about, you guess,
11 or 10.
Yeah, about 10. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you need, Rook?
Oh, for now, nothing that comes to mind unless you have a way for me to contact you throughout the day.
No, without me there.
Yes, well, unless you happen to know any of the hand signals common to me and my brethren, I don't think I could reliably sneak you among my people.
No. Plus, I already cast a spell.
I would imagine a cat would stand out in a flock of birds.
Just lots of licking my lips.
Nah.
Control myself, Smokey. Control yourself.
Yeah. I mean, do you need some healing potions?
I have a lot.
I could take some, yes. I only have
Okay.
one left.
All right. I will give you a greater and a regular.
Sweet.
Okay. With the 2 potions in hand, what do you wish to do?
What time should we expect you back by, or else will we start getting worried?
I would say expect me back. Well, I shall endeavor to make it within the next 6 hours that I return. That should give me a roughly 2-hour grace period before that spell should drop.
Okay, so hold on. We're sending you into the family that will never, ever, ever let you leave, maybe even possibly kill you by yourself?
It's only if I'm discovered. And it's not like I'm going somewhere you don't know where I am.
I shout for the wall. Bad track record.
Is it just me, or does that seem like a really bad idea?
I mean,
a suggestion.
actually, there is one. It's a very short-term thing, though. You could take me in a bottle as smoke. But I'd have to refresh it every single hour.
I mean, can't you make yourself look like a Kenku?
I could have if we thought of that before I cast the spell. But as Rook said,
the method of speech that we Kenku utilize would be effectively blind, deaf, and dumb. No offense, Smokey, to the circumstance.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Bless you.
This is Rook's home territory. I think this is the place where he knows the most about.
Bless you. Bless you.
See you again.
Yeah, I think we gotta trust Rook.
It's not about trusting Rook, it's about sending him into danger that we know is dangerous and hoping that he'll come back. I mean, last time he was by himself, he got kidnapped by a vampire who claimed to be working for his family, and we would have had a very difficult time finding him if we hadn't been sort of approached and told where to look. And in a city where we know literally nobody, him disappearing, I'm sure his family is very well aware of many places to hide people, dead or alive.
That's another thing. We still gotta look for it. We gotta look for the place where they're keeping our elf friend's wife's body. That was another thing we were supposed to look for in Trylock.
Trylac.
Trylac?
Trylac.
I thought it was Lock.
There's Bylock and Trylac.
Oh, god damn it. Alright.
Mixing up his...
The best thing is that your guys are right on the map. You can see it right there if you need to read it.
I don't have the map up. I have other things. Alright. Valendra, what do you suggest?
I mean, somebody has to go with him. I mean, if... I don't know.
To bring another. I understand your concern, but frankly, sometimes in order to get results, you have to take risks. And this is one that I'll have to take if I'm to find the answers I seek.
I mean, can't you just say that one of us is like your hired bodyguard or something?
Kenku don't hire. Kenku are hired. They're not creative.
Brooke, I've already lost one friend today. Please don't make me lose another.
Oh. I say for the wall.
I hear this little
he has a cup against
Very,
the wall
very
and
thin
just
wall.
listens to the entire thing.
It's like my ears twitching. Like, oh, this is sweet.
You won't. Frankly, it's the only option that we have nonetheless. At least, I'll not go too far. If it gets too risky, I'll come back.
So I want to punch a hole in the wall and do a John Cena. Are you sure about that?
At any point during the day you become too concerned, talk to Varkesh. I'm sure he can send me a message.
I can do that too now.
Excellent. So we have more than one method.
Okay, but what if you're captured and put into a circumstance where we can't send you a message? I mean, Smokey, your thing prevents people from finding you, right? I mean, are there things that can prevent people from getting messages?
That'd be it. Actually, my thing wouldn't even protect me from sending. It only perfects from teleportation and divination spells. But I mean, I can think of some like really macabre things that would prevent that spell from working. Do you want me to go into it?
I just think this is a really stupid idea. I mean, I know that you need to check in on your family, and I know that there are things that you have to ask about, and I know that it's a really like private organization, but there has to be some option than sending you in by yourself.
All I've got is a friend in a bottle. That's the only thing I can come up with, and it'd probably best be me because I'm the only one who can refresh it.
Have you any way to extend its duration?
None. I'd be okay giving it a try, and we'll see like how things go. Like if after maybe 2 hours or so, things are just really super boring, we can see how it goes.
We can certainly look around at the very least. Masquerade among those who go through. How long? You said that lasts an hour. Yes, the cloud.
Each
form?
casting is 1 hour. Yeah.
Okay. I think I can find some relatively safe, quiet areas to sneak away to let you out to refresh it.
Yeah, I can give you 5 hours.
And should things go poorly, do you have a way to get us out?
Yep. I think. Oh, yes, I do.
Confidence, Cat. We need confidence.
It's switching spells, man. Yes, I do.
Excellent. Then we can begin.
All right. Do you want me to change now, or do you want to give me to utilize as much time as possible?
Wait until we near the cathedral. Once we get closer, I think it'll be time to...
Yeah. And I'm just a human, so...
Correction, wait until we near my family's territory. I will let you know when we're...
Just let me know.
Last I was aware.
All right. And as for Belindra, I was planning to do like prestidigitation, give her something black, but
I am able to cast minor illusion by myself. Can I just create a black cube that I can stare at?
Well, Rook, could you give her one of your feathers?
Do it.
Black.
Pluck it. Let's say for the wall.
And I glare at Smokey a little bit. You understand what you asked me, yes? My feathers?
A feather. You can pick one of the tweaked ones.
A tweaked feather on me?
Yeah, that one's all messed up. It's in the back of
like when you
Where?
Look, it's right here, and I'll pluck it.
Valindra!
No, it's been messed up for like months. I never said anything because I didn't want you to freak out.
Not?
I'm pushing him out the door. Thanks, see you, bye!
With a bit of an interesting way to end a conversation, you two exit the room, heading towards your destination of the old district, while Valindra is left with a molted feather, and Varkesh is still quietly contemplating how to craft a crate in his room.
Contemplating.
It doesn't take you too much, because you are using the 1 hour ritual, so at this time you're continuing to do that. It would get to the point where they would start to be in their adventure by the time you'd finished. So, during the time that they leave, Valindra, are you going to do anything immediate, or are you going to wait? What do you want to do?
I'm going to contemplate what I'm going to do. And after about 5 or 10 minutes, I will go find Lulu.
Oh, alright, okay.
Oh.
So, at that time, Smokey and Rook are still in transition, heading towards the district. As you make your way downstairs, looking around, you do eventually see Lulu is enjoying a relaxation, leaning back. She doesn't recognize you, since you are now completely different in facial feature, and Smokey and Rook also, when they left, they didn't look the same. So she didn't recognize their departure either.
Okay. Lulu?
Yes, I'm Lulu. Who are you?
Oh, yeah, sorry, no, it's,
Why is your face different?
Smokey did the thing. Did you not see them? They look different too. It's the whole thing.
I see them? She looks around, looking for them.
Wait, no, didn't we see her and we talked about our fake names?
But
You
now we
did,
look
but now you
different.
changed your faces again.
Yeah, you know how before we looked different and now we look different again?
I'd certainly like to keep a change of pace. Why are you all different again? Did you do something? Is there something I should be concerned about? Did you break any laws?
No! No!
Yet.
No laws are broken!
Alright.
Look, I was actually, okay, I need your help with something.
Of course, darling, anything. Here, sit. And she taps the stool next to her. Go on. I'm all ears.
Okay,
She says to an elf.
I know that I heard that you get your magical powers the same way that I do.
You mean through a patron?
Yeah, patron, sponsor, whatever they're called.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was just wondering if you could tell me more about that. I'm having a little bit of difficulty with mine, and I didn't know if...
Oh, yes, your friends did tell me that you had some troubles, and I assume they're not resolved, are they? Who exactly did you make your agreement with?
You know what? It's complicated. I did ask you first, though.
Well, I just wanted to get more information. Do you have your contract?
Do I have...
Pulls out the dead
I
fox.
don't think I ever got a contract.
You actually did not get a contract.
No, Lou, I never... Like a written contract?
Typically written or in some way spelt out for you. In a glyph, a tablet, a scroll.
I don't...
Anything? Darling, do you have anything?
A tattoo.
I don't want to show her my tattoo. Plus, it's disguised right now. I mean, I do have a marking of sorts, but you can't see it because it's
Made in Taiwan.
It's... Alright, what does this mark look like?
I mean, it kind of looks like a face.
Alright. So this face represents... what?
The patron.
Right.
It represents.
It's his
I
face.
don't know. I got it whenever I made the deal. I didn't.
Alright.
It was
that's
all
fine,
very
yes.
kind of like fast and sudden, and I didn't ask any questions, and I just.
Darling,
it just happened.
it's fine. Alright, that's your mark, very well. That's your deal, I suppose, the seal on the deal. And you, what exactly, if you don't have a written contract, what was the verbal contract? Did you have at least an understanding between the two of you?
It was just, one of those kind of, I'll help you if you help me situations, scratch my back and I'll scratch yours, so I figured, yeah, I can do
That's
something.
very curious. No contract at all. Nothing
No.
spelled out specifically.
You have like a handwritten can I see your contract? I don't know, maybe I have something somewhere and I just don't know what they look like?
Darling, one does not typically ask for such private things out in the
What?
community.
You asked for me? What?
I asked if you had one, darling. I didn't ask for you to pop it out for me here in public.
Whip it out.
That's crazy.
Well, no, I don't have a contract. I just have this weird mark thing.
Darling, this is very... well, it shouldn't be discussed so openly here. If we are to continue, we should do it in hushed tones, or we could retire to your or my room.
Okay. We'll go to Rook's room.
All right. Do you have the key?
Any bad shit that happens is gonna happen.
I don't know. Did Rook lock the door behind it?
Why is my room the murder room? And
I
yes,
mean-
of course Rook did.
You probably did.
He's paranoid as fuck.
Well, I mean, he did. Can I use Mage Hand to go under the door and unlock it from the inside?
No. Mage Hand does not materialize around. You have to see where it goes. Then it doesn't
Can I
have the
peek
ability to
through?
fit through a pinhole.
Okay.
But if you could
Thanks.
see in the room, then you could do it.
So, like, if I could peer through the peephole.
Yeah, you could try.
I'll try.
Okay. Alright, so you and Lulu both head upstairs into the hallway, and looking into Rook's room, you try to look through the pinhole to see if you can just angle it right so you can just try and see past it. Make a perception check.
If I roll another natural 20 on my advance. Nope, but it's still better than my first!
So it's hard to see, and you really can't get a good glimpse into the room. It probably isn't going to work.
Can I try Smokey's room?
Sure, you
I
can
just
try.
want to see if Smokey's door is unlocked.
It's probably locked.
Why are we avoiding your room?
All right.
Because mine has a dead fox in it!
Well, that's... I'm not even there.
So go ahead and make another perception check into Smokey's room.
It's fucking arguing with her out of the ether.
I mean, you get a little better, but at the moment, you think you see a glimpse of light, and you try very hard, make an Arcana check to see if you can just get it to materialize past that vision of light.
Hey!
With a bit of gusto, and just you feel the hand materialize over there, and you can see that its shape just kind of discolors the light source barely, so you know it's somewhere on the other side.
Okay, start.
Jiggling the handle.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels it, and very similar to many old-fashioned locks, when you try to jiggle and pull the handle, it doesn't budge. It is not an advanced lock where it's like you can unlock from the inside if you locked it from the outside. It's a lock.
Okay,
Dead
we'll
bolt.
use my room. Just give me a second.
You head to your room, Lulu following you, just watching this, just not very sure, but she doesn't question you. As you eventually go into your room, and she just sits, waiting.
I'll take Winnie. And I'll wrap him up in a little blanket.
Okay, just rewrapping him in the same blanket, just kind of nestling him a little bit. He looks like he's sleeping to you.
I'll kiss him on the head. And I'll...
Oh, so sorry, darling. As she puts her
No,
hand-
the door is closed. I don't let Lulu see any of this.
Alright, okay.
And I tuck him into bed.
Alright.
And I cover him up with my blanket.
Okay, so instead telling her to wait until you're done.
Yes.
Alright, and then when you do, she comes in.
Sorry, it's a little bit of a mess, so I had to clean up.
Oh, darling, don't worry about it. That's fine. She takes a seat on the edge of her bed. So, tell me more exactly. What is this that you wish me to try and help resolve this problem?
I want a better understanding of what these are usually like, because obviously mine is a little unusual. Don't even have a contract.
Yes, it's quite peculiar. I take it you're not very familiar with the art of, well, being bonded to a patron. It's a very old rite. I'm surprised you aren't familiar with it. But here, come, sit with me. Sit. She taps the bed.
Nah, I'll come sit. Far away from her, but I will sit.
She takes note of that. Now, darling.
I mean, not like on the other end of the bed, but there is a distance between us. I'm not like right next to her.
Oh,
Are we
that's fine.
talking like a Barkesh distance or a Rook
Lulu will
distance?
remember this.
That's mean. Varkesh is great. You guys are just dicks to him. I'm saying through the wall.
So, as you take a seat nearby, she looks at you. Now, darling, when there are individuals like us who are not magically gifted, or we don't have the necessary intelligence to study it thoroughly, we have to rely on other means to try and get our magic. Now, through my understanding, as I read through many different histories in Riverrun. The act of becoming a patron has been a somewhat lost art, or at least not practiced as often as it once was. From what I had seen during the Age of the Dragons, if memory serves, many of the lesser demi-humanoid races made bargains with the dragons. They were the first to become what is commonly called a warlock. Now, despite that initial initiation, there were quite a few that were happy to sell themselves in service to the dragons for some measly bit of power. But the dragons decided sometime to end this practice. The details are a little hazy, but I was able to uncover something very particular about it, a small case regarding an individual who made a contract with the dragon, spelt out specifically in very clear terms, but done in a way where the agreeer found a loophole and was able to maintain their bond, but without the patron's blessing. And it allowed them to harness their power without bending to their will. Now, this problem seems to have been quite, how you would say, quite a substantial kink in the armor, as this seems to be a common thing for most. Any who make a bargain or a bond with an entity, they open a conduit that can't be closed unless both parties choose to break the line. Currently, that is why there are a great deal of contracts made with extensive jargon to prevent the abuse of this power, and by forming these particular agreements, there is a magical binding that if one was to break it, then the appropriate punishment or compensation should be given out. Considering you don't have this contract, it seems that perhaps if you were to move away from it, the consequences might not be as dire as it could be for some, though I don't necessarily know who your patron is. Are you willing to tell me? Perhaps, if you're uncomfortable giving a name, maybe you can describe the nature of your patron. Is he more benevolent? Is he greedy? What does he require from you?
He asks me to fetch things for him.
Alright. Simple
Certain
enough.
items.
And you have successfully fetched these items before?
Yes.
Alright. But recently you didn't fetch something? Or what did you do? Why did you cause the wrath to befall you?
I delayed one of the errands that he needed me to do.
I see. And from this delay, he stopped your power flow?
Sort of, yeah.
Why haven't you tried to take it back? Or have you, and been unsuccessful?
I mean, I've tried to do stuff, and I can't do stuff. What do you mean, take it back?
You know the familiar feeling when you draw from your entity's power. There's a sense that it's almost like tugging on a thread in the back of your mind to pull out this power, almost an endless thread, a line that you can draw your source to you. Do you know what I'm referring to, that sensation?
Yeah.
If you try to continue to pull on it, you should be able to gather the energies. It's a risky thing, and it is something specifically mentioned in most contracts that should you ever attempt to do such things, that the consequences would be dire, though if that term wasn't spelt out in your contract, you might be able to subtly take the power for your own.
Dire how? I mean, like, what happened?
Well, to there's different types of patrons. Some are a little bit more cruel. Some would say they forfeit your soul. Others might say that you lose an eye. There's a few things here and there. Mine, for instance, is if I were to do something detrimental, I would lose a year of my life.
So who are you contractually?
I don't know their names, darling. You see, many of them try to keep themselves as hidden away as possible. I do know that this individual has been very generous with me, has granted me not only power, but some insights and knowledge, and it allows me to not only harness magic, but I can discern some value and interest when I look around the world. I could detect magical traits from people as well as the items they carry. It gives me a bit more insight to know who potentially could be a good one to pick up as a contractee, as well as a few other things.
I mean, do you have like a branding or a seal or
A mark?
Yeah.
The mark is on my contract.
So it's not on you. Okay, so that's weird too. Like, cool. Just out of curiosity, do you know what were to happen if, let's say, instead of finding the thread and pulling on it and maybe losing my soul, I were to find someone else to make a new contract with?
Oh, second patron. Darling, you know as well as I do hate the idea of others trying to snipe my contract. I do my best to make sure that doesn't happen, mind you. But considering you didn't necessarily sign something in certain terms, I suppose you could potentially, though your other patron would be curious to know if your allegiances belonged to two. I don't necessarily know how well they might take that. Nor, what patron are you even... Do you have a second one? Is someone offering to take you up?
Well, no one's offering. I'm just sort of curious, I guess.
Well, darling, just as most individuals, it's a risky business. Should you perhaps maybe pursue a second patron, your first one might be a little upset and might attempt to either reclaim you if you're that vital, or maybe perhaps teach you a lesson, or even eradicate you if they can. You, again, how dangerous is this patron of yours?
Well, that's a good question. I don't fully know what to answer.
Right, well, the best advice I can give you, darling, is if the patron currently right now is dampening your skills, you can try to subvert them and take them for yourself, or you could try to seek another one if you wish. I don't know necessarily who you would try to find this new contract from, but be careful. When you do find a legitimate patron, they will spell things out in clear terms. And if you break those terms, well...
Right.
Some may be more benevolent. Perhaps you might try to see if others would be a bit more forgiving if you transgress.
Okay.
I hoped I could help you, dear. If there's anything else that you wish to talk about, if you wish to make a plan, I could try to help.
I think I just need to think. Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing in terms of being a warlock, though. So, and now that I have a little bit more information, that sort of helps.
Just one question, dear. Is this individual from this plane of existence or from another?
He's technically from this plane, right?
Oh, you're asking the DM? Yes, he is.
He's from this plane.
So if he's not from outside the plane of existence, then that means he can, I suppose, find a way to reach you. If he was from another plane, he'd have a bit more difficulty to try and act upon you physically. He might try something more mentally at that time. Or he might try to send others that are linked as to his patronees. They could pursue you and try to eliminate you. He would send others, but since he's here, he might do it himself. Still, let's not dwell on such negative thoughts. Perhaps you will find yourself successful in being able to please your patron, or even finding a way to get along without them.
Right. Yeah, I think I just need some time to think, but thank you.
All right, darling. She stands up. If you need anything else, please just call on me.
Thanks.
Of course. Well, I shall get back to work downstairs, if you don't mind. My tea is probably cold. I'll get a new cup.
Sorry about that. You can just add it to my tab if you want. It's on me.
Darling, I already have. Don't worry. And of
Super.
course, my aided service fee has been applied as well, so think nothing of it.
Pleasure as always, Lulu. Close the door. We were having such a nice moment.
Make an insight check.
Ooh.
About time.
God fuck. Can we just take my second set of rolls instead of my first set of rolls? Can we just make that the rule for me?
But so you it just because this is kind of like a thing to get from the inside general thing, you know she was being sarcastic.
Well, I'm new to sarcasm.
But yes, she does leave you to think upon things, and as you sit in your room, Varkesh, you are finishing up your crate. You're nearly there. As Rook and Smokey, you both arrive at the bridge, crossing it easily until you get to the old district, looking upon the ruins and broken buildings, the massive size and structure that dwarfs you in comparison. What do you wish to do?
Well, that was about the time it would be a good idea to turn to smoke. I have a number of bottles in my pack, just pick one.
Okay, well,
One that is not full, please. Not the wine bottle.
okay. Well, I was just wondering, so when I'm in the bottle, actually, if we could make it a transparent bottle, I could actually see out of it. That'd be really useful. Do you have any transparent bottles?
Oh, yes, of course. Those are all glass vials that I had Varkesh make.
Okay. And so I will be trying to hear and maybe see. So if you can just like put me on the front of your belts or something.
I think I could make that work.
Okay. And then as far as signal for wanting me to help you, it probably would be verbal, but you've been saying a lot of hand signs. And so I may not be able to see them. So maybe tap on the bottle 3 times or something, or something more discreet. What do you think?
If it comes to a point in time when we need to get out, that bottle will be smashing. You will know.
Oh. Okay.
But if it's something that I'll just need to get your attention for, I'll tap on the bottle 3 times, as you say.
Okay, and that's when I pop out.
Yes.
Okay. And so, yeah, we'll try and find an alleyway.
Okay, so you quickly find an alleyway, very easy, and you cast the smoke.
Can I cast gaseous form?
All right, allowing you to then become the smoke. Then you just settle into a vial, tucked right there on Rook's belt near the front, so you can semi-see the world around you.
Yes. Yep.
And Rook, of course, for the illusion, when the vial goes in, it just disappears. The illusion covers up any action, like any kind of true item or armor that you're wearing, so you just seem to still be wearing a typical robe. No one would know that you're wearing a glass vial right there.
Works for me. Makes it nice and easy. Okay, so I'll start making my way in towards the cathedral, relying on the the insignia of my family to keep me safe as I do so.
Oh, you're putting an insignia on?
Yeah.
Well, that would have been part of the seeming illusion, yeah.
Oh, it's a part of the illusion.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Don't like it when he does
Make
that.
a stealth check for me, please.
Okay.
Been crossing through territories.
Sup, blood?
Oh, I rolled a 4 on dice, total 13.
So did we even get this far?
I mean, that's the question.
Let's get shanked straight away.
Okay, hold on. Let's just see.
Was the N in enemy territory then or something?
Okay. When you move through the new district, there are quite a few pieces of territory that have been divided up accordingly. You passed through one or two that did not belong.
Oh, good.
Luckily, though, your version of being sneaky was more of like last-minute cover-ups, making sure like you would put a hand right here just to cover the insignia, just slightly when you saw something come along the way, just a quick cover, and it was just enough that no one would notice you, and you just make it look like, oh, poor achy shoulder. It was enough to pass by without anyone really thinking much of it. But yes, so you made it to the cathedral, and you do have your human face.
No, he's a
I'm
slightly,
one of the Kenku.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're still alright. So you are just a Kenku, plain Kenku with the insignia. Alright, so you make your way inside, and you can see the familiar layout before. You were here not more than an hour ago, an hour or two.
Okay. Yep, easy enough. I'll go ahead and make my way up the stairs looking for Reginald.
Okay, he's right there at the center. He seems to be on duty today, working at the altar. He looks at you, doesn't recognize you.
That's okay. It works for me. I'm going to go ahead and sign out... Bruno's to sign out in Kinku's speech, looking for my next assignment. Where do I go? As if I was new blood, essentially.
Ooh, make a deception check.
You got it. 27.
Oh, that's a good deception check right there.
Yeah, Lou.
Alright. So, yeah, he doesn't seem to really question your idle question. You seem to get the reply back in hand signals going to you. You report to the upper floor in the roof. Are you new?
Sign back. Yes, thank you. And immediately just start heading toward it.
Oh, he puts a hand on your shoulder.
Oh, pause and then turn back.
1 second.
Need something? Okay.
What's your name?
My name is Cyrus.
I've never heard of you.
As I said, I am new.
Where do you come from?
I come from the Bylock.
Curious. If you are going upstairs for new tasks, I would like to know, what have you done before?
Mostly messenger duties, carrying packages.
Very well. Off you go.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Thank you. Goodbye. Go.
Okay. So yeah, for Smokey, it's just them doing
Yeah. Yep.
lots of that. But yeah, you make your way up to, in the back area, what looks to be a spiraled staircase that is weaving you up to the point, right to the area where the roof has fallen in a bit. So you kind of see that as you exit the top, that there's a big hole to the left, and you can see the hole above from the ceiling as it crashed down, letting in rays of sunlight. But as you look across the broken stone roof, you can see it lead to another doorway. You're familiar, you've been here before, you've lived here, and so you can see that leading into that area is the commons. And so as you make your way towards that location, you enter the heart, the rookery of the sorts, where you can see that there are quite a few other Kenku going about, some of them sitting idly waiting or enjoying themselves, playing a few games with each other, rolling dice, cards. It's a casual place to just unwind, and many of them don't really pay you much mind. They don't recognize you. You have no friends here, according to your appearance. You look around and you can see that there are a few pieces of what you would call paper that have been hung on the sides. Some of them seem to be notes, messages. It's a way for many of the Kenku to translate and share information with one another. Letters and parcels and parchments are typically sent out quite frequently, and many of them are posted right there for them to be taken away. But there are a few that look to be contracts, as well as a few that are lists. The lists you recognize are those who are assigned specific tasks, and you can see a few familiar names, some of which going about different duties of either cleaning duty, altar duties. You can see your cousin's name there, but you also see a few that mention guard duty, reconnaissance, and you also see a few that look to be from a few of the code words. It's a thief camp that you understand. It revolves around thieving, and there's a few marks that have been made for them to try and make an attempt to add to their coffers. But that's what you see right now around the room.
Okay, easy enough. Look over all those contracts and such in more detail. First, looking for anything that may be related to the package that Lulu's contractor believes to be in our possession.
Sure. Make an investigation check.
Oh, 14.
All right.
4 on dice again, boys.
That's no problem. You take a little bit more time than you want inspecting the board and analyzing it. By doing so, a few Kenku are noticing that you are spending a bit more time than usual. As opposed to checking to see if your name is on something, you instead look to be looking through them as you kind of lift up, pull away, slide a few to the side, look on the table, see if anything comes to mind. So after about 5 minutes, you do eventually discover one, which is the location you are familiar with, which is the vaults. The vaults in this particular family tree are located deep within the crypts of this cathedral. They have been made and secured with other means of traps and protection that have been laid about it to prevent anyone who are unknown to its surprises. It's not really a listing, but you do see that there are, from what you can tell from the investigation, a few things recorded that have been sent in. Packages, crates, an assortment of things, none of which strike you as an exact description of the statued wife. You do see a few boxes and things mentioned that maybe perhaps could house one. Large crates in a sense, but nothing written down specifically for everyone to read.
Okay. So rather than lingering on that one or picking it up any longer than I already have, I'm going to slide that aside, fanning as though I'm still the new guy. Pick a simple-looking delivery job, essentially, and pick it up as though I'm going to take it. About how long has it been since Smokey turned into gas?
Oh, probably no more than 15 minutes.
Okay, so not very long at all. Alright,
Okay, make a sleight of hand check, by the way.
Okay. 18.
Okay. Alright.
Yep.
So that being the case, I will look around for any Kenku that I know to be a little bit kinder to the new guys.
You remember a few that were a little nicer, some of the more matron-like Kenku, and you see a familiar female one who's older than most, has been in the business for a while. You recognize her as, let's go ahead and pull up from the names. Let's call her... Alright. Maggie. Matron Maggie.
Magpie.
Basically.
Like it. Okay, so I'm going to kind of feign as though I'm uncomfortable and then make my way over to Matron Maggie and kind of hold up the contract I have in my hand.
Make a performance
hello.
check.
Okay.
Rook's in fucking behind enemy lines at the moment.
Okay. You do a very good job of persuading the viewers to see you as a very timid and uncertain-looking Kenku, but you make your way to her as she looks up. She seems to have just been casually reading, just looking up at you as you approach.
Hello, I am Cyrus. I'm new here. I was just wondering, does this This is all enhanced.
Okay, good. All right, I was gonna say if you just start talking, I'll be like, okay.
No, I figured I would just say it aloud rather than trying to
Sure, that's
feign
fine.
it.
That's fine. Just wanted to double check.
Yeah. Does this appear to be a good job for new blood?
She looks at it and goes, "It's meant for Gerald. Are you Gerald?"
No, I am Cyrus. I'm sorry. I am new here. I'm not familiar with how things work.
She does a kind of like a sigh and leans in and points. As you can see, right on the top, it says, "For Gerald."
Okay. Okay, sorry for bothering you, and then I'll put it back.
Get out! The Gestapo noticed.
You do see that as you go to walk and put it back, she stands up and follows you and looks and kind of does a little arm on your shoulder. "How are you, dear?" And then as she does that, though, she is going to make an investigation check because you are weird.
Yeah,
It's just
oh,
weird.
that's 20. Fuck.
Okay,
Oh,
so
my guys.
as she puts her
Hope you're a
hand,
friend.
as she puts her hand on you, she notices that it passes through you slightly, and the illusion is peculiar. And she looks and peers at you for a moment. As she's staring, her eyes widen. And she
I
steps
said
back
it.
suddenly.
I said it for the ball. Track record.
Okay, so she grabbed hold of me, eyes widened, back down, smashing the glass bottle. Time to leave.
Okay.
Oh God.
God.
As this happens, she backs out, and you just break a bottle that she didn't even see come out of anywhere.
Smoke bomb!
That's so
Very
extra.
much.
Yep.
Smokey, you're out of the bottle.
Okay, I immediately get my form back to myself as a free action. Drop concentration.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm gonna grab Rook and Dimension Door.
Okay, as this happens, she's just looking at you, and she's about to say something, but you just materialize, grab Rook, all the Kenku turn and see this as suddenly...
I look like a human.
You look like a human, yeah, but just suddenly they don't know exactly what you are. They just see a human and a very unfamiliar Kenku just suddenly fade out.
Well,
I'm
the
guessing-
illusion only broke for.
It's only for her. She only could see past it. Only she saw past it.
Oh yeah, unfamiliar. Yeah, misunderstood.
So at the moment, though, you just disappeared, and you appear 500 feet. I'm guessing max distance.
Max distance in like an alleyway, probably on our way to get to the
Okay, yeah,
cathedral.
just to give like a
Out
good
of the way.
little. You would probably make a good like scope to see where you could go, and you just
Yes.
appear right there in the street in a dark shaded alley. It's just
Yeah.
you and Rook.
Well, that didn't take very long.
Certainly could have gone better. Unfortunately, Matron Maggie was on the ball today.
I mean, it's too late now. We should probably start walking.
Could have slipped
Yeah,
from a
select.
volume or two.
As you are saying this, you hear ding, 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 ding.
Yep.
Those
ding,
aren't
ding.
bells, those are Kenku. Let's go.
Yep.
Okay, you try to make yourself as a nice brisk walk to move away. Make a stealth check, both of you, please.
Okay, we're the best ones in the group. Yeah, we're actually. I'm
Doesn't
pretty
matter
good.
much if I roll a 4 again.
Damn it! Oh my gosh, I rolled a 4 too.
You both have the same modifier.
I am loving this.
I got lots of spells.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so
Oh shit.
you make your way as quick as you can in that kind of like motion of like trying to walk without being, conspicuous. You're just kind of like, don't look at me. Just moving your way as fast as you can to try and not draw attention, but at the same time get out as quick as you could. The first segment of your journey seems fine. You make your way, you get to the bridge, you kind of feel like, okay, we're safe, we're pretty good so far. And at that time, when you get halfway to it, you hear a call out. What seems to be a ah! And as that happens, you turn and you can see what appear to be two Kenku on patrol looking, and they see you and begin to maneuver right towards you at that moment. And you can see that you are now being converged upon by a patrol.
Okay.
Time to leave.
Yeah, I will grab Brooke again, and I will look further down the street, and I'll look for a large building that I can see an alleyway into, and I will imagine myself 20 feet into that alley.
Okay, okay, you would just barely get to one of the houses just on the end of the bridge. You just made your halfway point, so you're just barely off, and you get disappear right into that little alley next to the closest building by the bridge.
Yep, just knocking off those spells.
All right, but they are still moving in that direction, assuming that because you were walking that way, so they're heading. You can still hear commotion, other calls and cry-outs. You can hear that, panicking. There's people moving about, talking. What happened? What happened? As you just disappear.
Rook, can you disguise yourself?
Can I disguise myself? What do you mean?
What I just said. Can you disguise yourself?
What? I'm not magically inclined. No.
All right, I am going to use. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to use. Another seeming, and we are going to turn into a half elf and two half elves.
I could just imagine Smokey asking Rook that question, and Rook just puts a finger in front of his beak like a fish.
Let me see seeming real quick.
Yeah, so I don't think I can actually drop it, but I can interpose another thing on top of it, I think.
Let's see.
I mean, technically, you can choose to drop at any point, regardless.
That's not concentration. But I think
Right.
Oh, I can't drop it.
It lasts unless you use an action to dismiss it sooner, so you could dismiss it sooner. Okay, yeah, so it wasn't one of those things where it was basically like, if you recast it again, the previous one falls off. That's what I was wondering about. So Valindra still looks like the disguise. Hers doesn't disappear. So
I have no idea that something's wrong.
No, you're fine. And so, Smokey and Rook, you both have your appearances changed to that of some generic half-elf, humanoid kind of looking creatures. Casual clothes, trying to be inconspicuous, just that kind of thing.
I will actually make it. So because we are in an alley, I will make it so that Rook looks like a very dashing young half-elf, like kind of early 20s, and I look like a female half-elf, maybe a little bit more curvy, and it looks like we just came out of like a makeout session in the alley.
Oh, okay. with your illusion of little disheveled hair and a bit of kind of broken up, clothing, just readjusted a little bit.
And it's the continuation of the ring. Yeah, okay.
You definitely give off that version of two lovebirds just sneaking off to have a moment or two.
Lovebirds.
But yes, as the continuation of Smokey being paired off with either Rook or Varkesh continues for the party, you do make your way out of the alley as you try to pull off this performance. Please, both of you, make a performance check.
Okay. Not deception.
I'm actually very good at these. I just rolled well.
This is more or less not like you verbally talking. This is kind of like when people look at you from the streets. All right,
we're in sync.
You are in sync.
Same fucking
Same.
All right, so you make your way trying to act as you expect a couple should. Just kind of, you pull on his arm a little bit, you kind of like lean in, just like trying to look like you're devoted to him, and he just kind of goes on your hair a little bit, and eventually kind of gets that moment of like trying to play with the illusion without breaking the illusion. There's a moment of like dancing around it, and you're pretty good. You're pretty clever about making it look real as you try to saunter down the street.
Yeah, can we get advantage on that because we're totally disguised?
Well, if I did, you're gonna roll a 15. You know that, right?
Yeah. I mean,
that seems likely.
Okay, yeah.
Let's give them disadvantage to figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. So, you press on, making your way back into the new district, looking as two lovebirds do, keeping yourselves close, arms around each other, and just kind of walking. As we go back to Varkesh, finally finishing his container as he looks down at it with a bit of satisfaction and... good job. Now you have something to give for Valindra to put Winnie in.
Fuck, I'm hungry.
Some jealousy?
Jealousy?
Yeah, Rook's with Smokey again, man.
Oh. Well, I wouldn't know this. I mean, I just managed to make a fox box, so... Said that.
Fox.
I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get some food to eat.
Okay.
Considering you've called it a bread box in the past, now we're talking about a fox box, and you're talking about being hungry, I'm concerned.
I'm not going to eat the corpse fox. It's totally fine.
You have it. What would you like to do now?
I will take said box, and I will gingerly, as quietly and as sensitive-like as Varkesh could ever so possibly be, knock on her door. Valindra, are you there?
Yeah, you can come in.
I should just creak, open the door just so much that my muzzle can stick through and be like, are you sure?
Yeah. Zarkesh is fine.
Okay. I walk in and go, I have the box. It is really beautiful.
It's ornate. It's got nice metal work that seems to have been curved and made into kind of like a beautiful filigree around it. And you can see that as he opens it inside, you can see that it's got some cushioning in there, some softer kind of pillowing around it.
It is not a coffin.
It's shaped more like a chest.
A pot.
Yeah.
See, we can put Winnie in here, and he'll be nice and safe. And if you want, I can put Winnie in the box, and then put the box in the bag of holding to keep Winnie even more safe until you figure out what you need to do.
It's beautiful.
It is. You are most welcome. I just place it on the bed. It's like, are you hungry? I'm really hungry. Making things that are this fantastic often make me hungry.
I'm okay.
I'll take that as a yes, so you need food. I'll bring food up. And this is going to be Varkesh's portion. So,
I really don't want anything, Zarkesh. I'm okay.
would you like some tea?
Sure.
Okay. Varkesh portion size of tea coming up. So I'll go downstairs into the area where I can acquire food. And I will place the order for a large amount of food for me to take up to Valindra's room to have a conversation. And the tea. A large tray of it.
Okay. The innkeeper is able to provide you with what you need. He basically gives a large tray for you to put the pot on, pouring in the hot water from the stove in the kitchen, and giving you some tea leaves to mix in as you please, as well as a few assorted bits of what you could gather as a quick meal, so cold bread, cold cheese, some fruits, a little bit of meat that had been cooked previously for breakfast, some ham and such, ready for you to take up.
Awesome. I take it upstairs and I once again enter Valindra's room.
It only costs you 5 silver, by the way.
You fucking swindlers. And go up to her room, place it down, gritting my teeth, realizing how much all that shit just cost. And they'd be like, so, where's Smokey and Rook? Did they find out anything interesting? What have you decided? How do you feel?
Well, Smokey and Rook are on their way to talk to Rook's family, try to find out what's going on. I'm not exactly sure what Rook was wanting to accomplish, but I know that he was very adamant that he infiltrate his family ranks and learn information. So I'm sure all of it's going well, you know. So
I just shake my head. Nope.
yeah, that's more just optimistic. I'm sure they've messed up at some point now.
Yeah. And just continuing to pour her the tea. You take
You know,
milk
we
with
are consummate professionals.
Yeah, just a little bit of milk.
Okay. And just before I just start lumping the sugar in madly, so much that you get diabetes, I kind of look to you to kind of gauge how much sugar you actually want.
Just like a little bit.
Okay. Sit down on any other furniture that is just other than the bed. Like
The
cross my leg. Okay, then I sit on the desk. That's going to be one ruined desk. Fair enough.
It's able to hold your weight. You would imagine the desk is sturdy enough to do that versus the little stool. That's it.
Fair enough. So, things happened last night. I'm sorry that I couldn't fix Winnie yet, but I will still attempt to rectify that problem.
Thanks.
But you seem puzzled.
Yeah, Rook came back with some information. So they were gone, and then they came back, and then they left again.
It's normal.
But Rook came back with some information about perhaps another patron I could align myself with.
Oh, who'd you have in mind?
She's called the Ebony Empress.
Do I know that?
The Ebony
Before I
Empress.
guess.
Make a religion
The
check.
Empress.
I will see if my gasp was warranted.
Oh, come on, daughter, roll really high, please.
But
Not a clue.
hey, audience members, who wants to give Varkesh an inspiration die?
Don't do it. Let them suffer.
They're like gasp. I don't know who that is.
She is kind of... I don't really know who she is either. Rook seemed pretty into her. Something to do with, like, she lords over death or something to do with death or...
Never a fantastic sentence to have.
It seemed like he thought that she was better than my current death-obsessed patron.
By having another death-obsessed patron.
Yeah, but I don't know. Well, because he's more... Drekken's more like yeah, well, also into, like, undead, and I think she's just more into things staying dead, based on the impression I got from
That's rather interesting. So, what makes you think that a patron that's obsessed with undeath, who took Winnie away, and then transferring to a patron that is obsessed with total death, will bring Winnie back?
I don't know.
Complete about the absolutes of the natural orders of life.
I don't know. That's the thing. I honestly am not sure. I'm not sure she'd be able to help me. She may want Winnie gone completely.
It's possible. I did have a question for you, though. I was pondering this when I was making the box. Winnie, when Winnie was still kicking, forgive the phrasing, you did a lot of weird shadowy things with Winnie, correct?
Yeah.
Right. Now, this has always baffled me. Was that really Winnie?
Of course it was Winnie.
Because I'm recalling some odd things with your shadow. Like, Winnie was your shadow, and at the same time he wasn't your shadow, when he would be used for where you would need him to do things. And then whenever you used Winnie, your shadow was null and void.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is Winnie. It's just a modified Winnie, but it's still him, 100%.
Are you sure? Because I've never touched in the dark arts myself or anything of the shadowy edgelord I'm undead thing before, but I'd always imagined that if it's evil in intent and it's undead, maybe it was never Winnie. Maybe it was your patron, Draken, was it?
Yeah.
Maybe it was the influence of your shadow controlling the body of Winnie, and that it was never truly Winnie.
But that wasn't the deal, though. The deal was he brings Winnie back.
But did he?
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. When you say bring Winnie back, that often doesn't tend to mean that you need to stitch him up every 5 minutes he gets clonked by a goblin.
Well, okay, that's just... He dies a lot. But, I mean, I fix him and it's still him.
Okay.
I think, thinking back on, like, Winnie and trying... Because she's never looked at it this way before.
Daily affirmations by Rakesh.
Does it seem like it was actually Winnie?
In terms of, like, his behavior, his actions and whatnot?
Yeah, his behavior, his actions.
You remember Winnie. Just every time you recall memories of Winnie and his behaviors, he behaved the same way.
Yeah, no, it was him. I mean, he behaved like he did when he was, truly alive, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't... It had to be him.
It's just food for thought, but just I don't know, the way I feel just makes me think that if you've got a patron that's capable of doing these kind of things, what's you can speak to the dead. When we remove the enemy's heads and then you end up speaking to them, they tell you secrets and all things by asking them questions, right?
Yeah.
Then what's to say that the dark influence of your patron doesn't go into the little body of Winnie and uses its memories? So Winnie acts like Winnie, but it's never really Winnie. Winnie's the shell, and your shadow is the influence. I know! It's great. It's actually not so great because if I'm right or if the doubts suck. I'm trying to help.
Yeah, no, I mean, but it was Winnie though.
But was it? I mean, he got angry with you. He took away your powers, and then when he died. So your powers left you when he was gone, and you believed that to be the contract that you had with him. But then, was that really Winnie to begin with, or was that just his influence controlling the shell?
Well, I mean, his powers what kind of held him together.
But my powers can hold people together, and I'm not some all-powerful deity or evil thingy.
Well, yeah, but when you hold someone together, if they get blown to bits, can you stitch them back together and they'll be fine?
If I can get someone quick enough, I feel I'm currently strong enough that I can actually bring someone back. And that's me at my own capabilities, as glorious as they are. But if he's far more potent in power than myself, which is very hard to believe, by the way, maybe he's capable of doing much more than what we can realize.
If I think back to all the times that, like, I talked to Winnie and I communicated with Winnie, I mean, did it seem like it was my patron just puppeting his body, or did it seem like actual Winnie? If I
Make an intelligence check.
Oh God, no. No, not intelligence, no. God's pleased. I'm begging you for one good roll.
You can do it.
Yes!
Thank you, that's God.
Crucial moment, come on!
Well,
Okay.
she sold her soul for that 19. It's been nice
Worth
playing.
it. Worth it.
So, as you think back on this, and your thoughts go to that, the door opens up, and you see suddenly two half-elf figures coming right.
Damn it!
Just kidding.
Wait, just two half-elves?
Yeah, just kidding.
I was going to say, the one fucking great insightful insight Marcus gave, instead of breaking something or making a complete tit of himself, it's ruined! Anyway, continue.
Yes, so you think back, and you try to put the pieces together from this puzzle, this conundrum. You know Winnie occasionally replies back to you in telepathic communication and is able to relay information that he sees in vivid detail, and you're able to possess and look through him and control him as if he was a part of you. And that alone gives you a sense of curiosity, because Winnie obviously is just a normal fennec fox, and he never could do this. So you feel like maybe perhaps it was just the blessing and the power that was given to you allowed it to be carried on into him, but as you think about it more and more, the idea of a normal fox being able to do any of these things it's very different and bizarre. And you start to question it more. It doesn't make sense. You don't know how he's able to do all these things if he is effectively a revived Winnie.
I pass her a slice of thinking ham.
So
Good for thought.
her, after thinking about it, her impression is that this is not Winnie.
Her impression is that if it is Winnie, there's more than just Winnie. Because it's Winnie is the fox, absolutely. But it's not Winnie who can
Keep watch.
who can see and in the dark. It's not Winnie who can live without eating food. It's not Winnie who can melt into shadows and quickly form back into you. So it's one of those things where it's like, there is Winnie and his body, and you know the body's real because the body's been with you the entire time. It's just that there's an additional +1.
Ooh.
Are you telling me Varkesh was right?
Ooh. I mean, okay.
Because I feel a catchphrase coming on.
No, don't you dare. Not in this dark hour.
It's just like twitching.
It is Winnie, though. I mean, it's still him. It's just in order for it to be him, there also has to be a little bit of extra.
But think about it. I served the first one, and I don't like to talk about it, and I don't think I'll ever use it, but I have the means to actually raise the dead myself. Like, I can make a zombie, a skeleton, and stuff like that. So, if I'm capable of doing things like that, imagine a far more powerful, nefarious force out there that's capable of preserving a living being and inserting itself and being able to influence its mind or bear knowledge of its life. It doesn't seem that implausible.
No, it doesn't seem plausible, but look,
The undead are nothing but puppets. That's why people like me hate them.
You hated Winnie?
No, I didn't hate Winnie because I always believed what you said, that was Winnie. But given the current situation, I've just been thinking about it, and to be honest, with what that asshole did to you, I was just thinking that maybe Winnie was a puppet to you being his puppet. A puppet to a dickhead. Controlling the two puppets. And he was using Winnie, animating his body, controlling him via whatever means he uses to keep you in line, to keep you under his thumb. So that you, I have no idea what plans he has for you, but for you to go out and do the things that you do. But I think he's revealed his hand. That he thought he was, I'm going to be a big dickhead and take Winnie away from you. And that made good old Varkesh spark a few brain cells up in the old blue noggin and go, dickhead revealed his hand. That might not be Winnie. Pretty good when I've had 8 hours.
No, I mean, I see what you're saying. And it's possible, but it is Winnie. I know it is.
Are you just holding on to the hope that I'm wrong and that if I'm right that you've just been used? Or can you at least admit that it's plausible? I mean, you've seen what I can do. I can create an armory in hours. For someone who controls literally the undead, do you think raising, not to put Winnie down in the dirt, but a simple animal? I mean, it'd be nothing for a creature like him.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely plausible, and yeah, raising Winnie would have been easy for him, but I don't know. This is all... Did you know Lulu was a warlock?
She's what?
Yeah, she's a
Did I know that?
warlock.
No. I did not know that.
Smokey told me. I was kind of impressed. Apparently, I'm supposed to have a contract, and I don't.
Okay. Is that what you do? Yes, we talked about that before. You're a warlock, and you have a patron, and you do a handshake, essentially. That's right, a handshake.
Yeah, but she seems to think that if I sort of find the place where I draw my power from within me, or whatever, then and I focus hard enough, then I can take control of my power myself.
Ooh.
But I don't get the feeling he'd be too happy with me taking advantage of him like that. But she also said that if I make a deal with another patron, because, like I said, the Ebony Empress thing, and I'll hold up Rook's feather.
You got one? I've been trying to get one for months.
Yes, but this one is mine.
I'll trade you.
I like how Varkesh has been trying to get a feather before he even knew Rook.
Wait, it feels like it's been for months.
Trade for what? We'll loop around. No, trade for what?
Varkesh actually contemplates this.
I'll give you time to think on it. You don't have to give me an answer.
No. I'll make you something. How's that?
You make me things all the time, though.
But this time it'll be even more special because it's a trade. And trades are fun.
Not gonna take it. But if you think of something better, let me know. But she also said that if I were to make another contract, then he'd be pissed off at me as well. But at least that way I would have another powerful being on my side to maybe help protect me. But he would send people after me, and maybe he would come after me himself because he's on this plane. He's not on another plane because he died on this plane because he was once a person. And it's just a lot to take in, and I don't know what I'm going to do. It's just...
I mean, there is the old saying of the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, and I think she would really want him dead if she's, hates the undead and everything like that. And I do have, these, and I'll pull up the staff and pull out the finger bone. And I know where his ring is, and he wants that pretty badly. But I don't know if she'll bring Winnie back. And I just haven't talked to her, and I don't know if I should talk to her, if I should just go try to pull from my patron. It's a lot.
I don't think that talking to someone else first would be all that bad. Besides, you've got his finger and his staff, and you know where his ring is. We call that in the business having him by the short and curlies.
Yes, because obviously Dragonborn have a lot of short and curlies on them.
It's a business saying. I have scales, but I could still ruin it for me, DM, wherever you are.
This just in, a Dragonborn have short and curly scales for some reason.
Yeah.
Patternage. We're like pattern welded Damascus.
But as you all are talking about this, eventually Rook and Smokey have made it back to the inn and have made it up to your rooms. And as
I attack the two intruders instantaneously.
I am going to grab my sword as I walk in.
I knock.
They knock.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll open the door.
You see a floozy half-elf female and a half-elf male just looking at you.
Can I help you guys? This is kind
Oh
of
yes, darling, we were looking for our room.
Can we watch?
Oh, this isn't it.
Okay. It's Smokey and Rook. Let's go.
Yeah,
Right.
it's Smokey coming from a female. It's a little weird.
All of my fun, Smokey. Yes, it's just...
You've had enough fun today.
Oh,
Sassy cat!
Smokey's
Sassy
a little
cat!
fiery right now. I'll let you guys in.
Would you like some tea? I brought a lot of it.
That would be...
Smokey just grabs the milk jug.
How could you give Valindra one of your feathers?
Okay. I was just imagining a half-elf starting to do this.
I didn't do it willingly. She took it from me when I was turning
chugging
around.
it down.
Fair enough.
Don't get any ideas.
So, how did everything go? You guys look different.
Feather-plucking machine.
Well, it was going well for a while. Got inside, had a look around. Unfortunately, one of them laid hands on me and the illusion didn't stand up.
I fist bumped Valindra because we both know that it would both fuck up.
Yeah, I thought I heard something about you grabbing a notice that was for someone else.
Well, you had to play the new guy convincingly, otherwise no one's gonna buy it.
So wait, what was your plan to play the new guy and then be like, oh, hey, I haven't met the boss man yet. Can I talk to him?
No, look, if you play the new guy, you can learn a lot of gossip around the workplace. A situation where I could have insinuated myself into any of their good graces, asked around, found out if there was any changes in the boss recently, find out how the battle against the other gangs has been going.
Would they do that with the new guy?
Well, yes, of course. I'm with them at that point.
Well, I'm not privy to gangland life, son, but I was always under the assumption that you got to be in it to win it, yo, and that you gotta be pretty OG.
It's all in the phrasing, Varkesh.
As you can clearly see, I'm unfamiliar with the phrasing of gang life.
No, that was horrible.
I tried my best.
Why didn't you, be like, hey, I heard that there was a vampire claiming to be part of the ranks. Weird, right?
Mother?
Is that true?
To be fair, he was only in their company for like 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
I told you, they're a very perceptive bunch, and unfortunately, I was not quite so lucky.
Clearly.
Well, okay, what's your plan now?
Well, at this point, you saw who I am. That's going to spread like wildfire. Either we can... Wildfire, thank you.
Right. Sorry.
Either we can attempt to set up a meeting with the more honest grounds, at least for my appearance, or we can skip town. There is very little other options.
I have always wanted to fight an army of rooks.
No.
Just Smokey's in the back with the teacup. No.
Well, he's got milk. It's just him and milk.
Fighting.
Just a cup of milk.
This is my family. I would rather we did not.
Good point.
So,
This is. Oh, go ahead, Smokey. I'm sorry.
if there was this option for a peaceful meeting, why didn't we start with that?
Because I would rather they not know I'm here so that they can't even attempt to keep me here, Smokey. We've been over this.
Just take a big bite of the big ham hock I've got in my hand. This is great.
Rook, they're your family. What would you rather do? Leave or try to talk to them?
I think at this point it's best that we do have a conversation. There are concerns if the undead are joining the ranks, if it's not known, and frankly I cannot imagine any in my family would agree to become some
Stooge.
undead bastards of your old patron.
Rook.
Again, no offense. As was the case back with the vampire that we fought.
Rook.
What?
Are you going to say we're going to have a sit down?
No, Varkesh, I am not going to
Is that
say
a
we're going
joke?
to have a sit down with.
It's a gangster thing I heard once. I read, kind of. It has pictures in it.
It sounds like something anyone could do. Just have a sit down. It sounds like something.
Look, Smokey is
You're not
having a
privy.
sit down right now with that.
He's
glass of
not
milk.
privy or as versed in gangster knowledge as yours truly.
Okay, are we gonna have this sit down or meeting or whatever? Are we doing it all together? Do you want to do it with Smokey in a bottle again? I mean,
The Smokey in a bottle trick will only work the once. Unfortunately, it was seen by all. Most likely, anyway. Although they didn't seem smoky, it's probably better we keep it that way, truth be told. Tabaxi are not well loved around there.
Who doesn't like
But
cats?
more importantly, as far as who will come with me, I cannot in good conscience bring you there if you are not at your best, Valindra. What do you intend to do with your situation?
I don't know. There's a lot going on.
Wait, we were gone. I know it wasn't long, but did you get anything done?
We had a good chat.
I talked to Lulu, and then Varkesh came in, and then Lulu told me that I can probably take the power for my own if I can kind of focus on it long enough, but I can't imagine he'll be too pleased with that.
Mm-hmm.
I gather the impression he's not pleased with you nonetheless, regardless.
Yeah, that's obvious. But she also seemed to think that if I were to make a contract with another patron, then he would send people after me, maybe come after me himself, and I don't want to put you guys at risk if I'm to keep traveling with you all, and
We're all at... do you remember my siblings trying to kill all of us?
Or Varkesh's dad, the literal
he's
trying
a
to
dragon.
kill us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone already has so much going on. I don't want to add to it. I mean, no offense, but I'm actually proud to say I'm one of the people who doesn't have anyone after me.
That's
in
not
this
true
group.
at all.
Well, now I have someone after me.
Vampire, for example.
He wasn't after me specifically. He just wanted the spell that I happen to have.
Therefore, he was after you by proxy.
Yeah, Todd with the same brush, I'm afraid.
More
Well,
to the point, I'm afraid at this point I see no way for you to regain your efficacy as a warlock without pissing off your old patron. Whether it's by subsuming his power for your own or making a deal with another. I mean, honestly, I think you have a good in with the Ebony Empress. People came to her all the time in the past for extended lifespans. It's the same as just extending it to a different creature.
Did they, though?
Yes, they did.
What is it with you and that Empress? You like her a lot.
The most reasonable option, other than subsuming your patrons for yourself, which you
She also had a really cool picture in the library book we found.
I mean,
it was very
like,
cool.
all anime and
What's wrong with a god of butterflies and kittens and good things instead of goddesses of death.
I mean,
Look, I'm
Because-
just saying, it is the most reasonable patron I found an example of, and frankly, Draken is a problem that is not going to go away unless we do something about it.
you gotta imagine it's the Raven here who's really promoting this one.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, look, I haven't even had a chance to talk to her because everybody's been talking to me and I've been thinking and I haven't had time to focus and
You were sitting on the bed in your PJs. You've had plenty of time to think about it.
yeah,
I brought
did.
you ham and tea,
And then you've been in my room.
talking to you about fixing the problem.
Rakesh, now's not the time to push. This does take thought. It is a matter of great...
I'm not pushing. You're the one pushing, Ebony interest.
Well, okay, look, if you want to talk to your family, when will you talk to them?
How would you arrange it?
When the crow caws in the morning.
Easiest way to arrange it would be to use an old call sign. As the Kenku know, we can mimic many sounds. Call for
Caw.
or find a messenger to send a message on my behalf. As well, who I am, Rook, I carry some weight even now, even though we are estranged, and I can use that to at least set up a meeting place. Though, make no mistake, if we give them enough time, there will be a trap.
You kidding? You look like a butt 30 dripping wet.
Okay, well, are like in the morning? Are you thinking in an hour?
Definitely not before Smokey is rested. He has used up far too many spells, and I would rather be prepared.
Same.
But we cannot delay for long. We may be in the new district, but they have eyes. Most
Ooh.
places.
There is also another good thing. I cannot be literally or figuratively imprisoned. It's impossible to do it.
I remember that. You were in a cage once in the mongrels, the hybrid thing, and you went crazy.
Mongrels. Yeah, about that. But I was also referring to the means that because of what I am and how amazing I am, there's no cage that can contain me. I can actually get out of things quite easily. I've been in prison like 4 times.
Your holy symbol, or
Oh, I just temporarily make a new one.
can you do that without a focus of some sort?
Mm-hmm. Yep. All it is just the symbol. Carved in a wall, carved on a stone, carved in my flesh, carved on you.
I draw the line at being bellows. You don't get to make me into a holy symbol.
You don't get a say in this, kitty cat.
Smokey's getting fed up with our shit, y'all.
I know, this is great.
No permanent marks.
There's
Okay,
vodka
well-
tramp stamp.
I'm okay. If you're planning on meeting with them in the morning, I need a couple more minutes to think about things, so you could all.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Sure.
Cool. I will open up my bag and I will take out the rod of ruling, and I will give it to Valindra because she's a bit lackluster at spellcasting at the moment. So anything that will help, just give that to her to use for now. I want that back, by the way.
Okay.
I know for a fact I'm never going to get that back.
Okay. And Smokey will wait to be the last one out.
Okay.
I'm just going to take the handful of crab cakes.
Yeah, take all the food. I'm not hungry.
Rook following after him. I mediated about the feather thing, by the way. If you try to take one without my
This
consent,
is like, I'm going to take a feather.
As
Just
the pair
like-
of them leave, leaving Smokey
It's like,
lingering
ooh, a
behind.
feather plucking machine of some kind I can create.
All right. So, Valindra, you know what kind of situations we get into on a day-to-day basis, so not to rush. And of course, you need to make a decision that you can be happy with. But, we're here for you if you need anything. And before I go, I'll cast Minor Illusion to just play some, Enya music for meditation.
For 1 minute, Valindra, as Smokey exits, you get this a little calming.
Just about the time I start to relax, it disappears.
he tried.
I will sit on my bed with Winnie in his little chest. And the little black feather next to me. And I'll look at Winnie, and then look at the feather, and then back at Winnie. And I'll
Her eyes feel like that.
feel the mark on my arm.
Huh?
And then I will close the box. And I will pick up the feather. And I will cast Minor Illusion. Ooh, I almost knocked everything off my desk. Minor Illusion behind the feather to make just a black sphere.
Okay.
And I will try to contact the Ebon
Okay. What are you gonna say?
What's up, bitch?
I will say, I don't know if you're listening or if you can help me, but I do need help. I know where the things of interest of Draken the Black are. He's trying to come back. I'd like to help, but I need some help too.
Make a religion check.
Oh no! Why are you making me check for this? Oh God!
Nat 20.
Please, Dice Gods. Please, Dice Gods.
21.
Broke 20.
All right. So you focus on the sphere as you look into the darkness. The illusion magic allows you to keep it into this void of black. And as you stare at it for a moment, you slowly begin to notice the sounds outside grow quiet. The life of the world is suddenly gone, mute. And you notice the sphere grows bigger. And it begins to slowly take up the entire space around you. As you feel yourself in a split second, in a moment of wanting to move, but it's enveloped you. And you feel yourself in a void of black. You look around and you can't see anything. You can feel yourself. When you move your hands around you, you can feel the bed. You can feel the chest that Winnie's in, but for all...
I grab the chest and I pull it in my lap.
Oh yeah, so you're holding on, but it's black. As the world is void, you look and you hear nothing but silence. As you stare into the darkness for a moment, you feel the air get colder. And as you look in the direction of a cold wind, you stare in the distance. As you try to adjust your vision, you can see a faint, almost mask that seems to slowly present itself from the darkness. As it glistens very softly, like a pearl white, it pushes itself forward, and its blank expression stares at you. A feminine face, calm, no eye sockets, fair lips, smooth skin. Disembodied and staring at you quietly.
Are you the Ebon Empress?
The mask bends and comes back up.
I am. I don't know if this is something that you could really help me with, but I know I could really be of help to you. I kind of got myself in a little bit of a situation. I'm actually somewhat bound to Draken through an unwritten contract that I made in a moment of desperation and panic, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I know now that I think it might have been a mistake. I can give you some items that he has need for that I have in my possession, But I do have one favor to ask in return, and I'll open up Winnie's.
You can feel
box.
it, but you can't see it.
I'll still hold Winnie in my arms. Kind of stupid and ridiculous, but I have this this fox. It means a lot to me. And I lost him, and that's when Draken found me. If there is any way that you can bring him back to maybe be with me until I pass on, then I will do anything, everything I can to help you put Draken to rest once and for all, because he is getting stronger, and I know that there's more than just me trying to help him.
As you continue your plea, the mask just floats and doesn't respond until you finish. After that time, it glides forward and looks at you. Then as it does, it turns and falls towards your lap as the open end remains exposed to you, presenting itself to you to put on.
The mask? To put on the mask?
To put on the mask.
Oh.
Oh!
An Empress.
Oh!
You're going Frey.
Going rogue!
Is that... I'll take the mask. I will take a deep breath. And I'll put the mask on.
As you put the mask on, you can feel its cold press against your skin, and as it just sits there, suddenly the world just goes, and you feel that the wind, the cold air just stops, and you feel as if you're now buoyant for a second, and being lifted up by something. As you look around, you can hear a voice in your head, a soft, faint whisper. Young one, you seek to end Draken.
Yes.
I detest all things unliving. If you will be my champion and slay this creature, I will offer my aid. But you must not veer from this path. Any undead must be eradicated.
Does that include Winnie?
Your companion is not undead, nor alive. You have been deceived, child.
I was right. Sorry.
Winnie was never yours, nor was it his to give to you. Your friend rests safely with me. His spirit remains within the great void. But he still lives, and he lives in here, as you feel an invisible hand press against your chest. Your love, his memory, lingers in you. And when you called him to you, your memory, your soul, gave life to this form. Your friend has never left you, and has only been embedded in the remains. He is not lost. Look within. Find yourself, and you will find him.
I know it's not really what you do, but you said that you have his spirit. Can you bring him back?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh God. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Can I inception her dream and help?
Dice gods, please.
Can I inception her dream and hinder?
Oh,
Oh no!
oh
Never mind, I don't need to. Oh, that's rough.
no.
Did you want to see if anyone wants to buy you inspiration?
Oh my God.
Give generously!
If anyone wishes to, I'll give because I know we are delayed by like a little bit, so this will give them a tiny chance. A tiny chance if anyone has something
Can you
spare
buy
to
my
do.
self-inspiration?
We've determined that the players
if
can't
Kyle
buy each
was
other
there,
inspiration.
Kyle could do it because he's not.
I don't think Kyle's watching anymore, that bastard.
He went to bed, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I know Tamarick, but I don't know if Tamarick has points left over.
No, I haven't seen Tamarick all night.
No, he's got a new schedule,
Oh,
he said.
dear.
Oh.
Oh no.
no.
Well, that's okay.
No.
All right. Well, as it lingers there, your plea just echoes in the void, and you wait for a response. All right. Okay.
You are on Kayla's Christmas list forever.
He tried. He
Oh,
only
he
had
doesn't have
10.
enough.
Oh
Still, though.
You know what? Just because I like BMW and he's finally got a connection back, and to celebrate his return, I'll let BMW's 10 points count towards it.
no. Oh my God.
So I'm going to take your 10 points, BMW. You may re-roll.
You can do it.
Come on.
14.
Well, the one
Another
is on the
one.
other. All right. So, better than a nat 1. No. As you sit there, the voice returns softly. I cannot give you what you already have. He lives in you.
Later. No.
He is not lost. Believe. Trust yourself.
I'll try to focus on my memories of Winnie.
Okay. As you think back and you bring back the idea of Winnie, then you bring back all the times you remember from when you first met him, all the way through, and even the adventures you had. And the memory grows, and you can feel it as a part of you as much as the shadows around you are. And as these memories begin to form, they solidify, and you can feel a blackness in your hand. And the best that you can know, just the insight you have from this world and what you are doing, it feels like your shadow again. That familiar cold sensation from the threads you used to weave into Winnie rests in your palm.
Try to pet him.
As you bring it closer to Winnie, the shadow goes towards him. And you can feel, in the darkness, a stirring. You can't see anything, but the form in the box is moving.
It just latches onto her neck.
Kills me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Remember, remove all undead taint from this world. Do not let it linger. That is your task.
I'll do my best.
I know. And as she recedes from you, the mask begins to disappear and slowly bleed from white to black as the void turns into a smaller sphere, growing back down to the illusion you had. And as it settles there in front of you, you look down and you can see that Winnie is looking up at you, nestled in the blankets.
Like a burrito.
I pat his little head.
He leans up into it, just kind of starts to nuzzle up and kind of wiggles out of the blankets were kind of tying him in, so he's just eventually gets out enough to then leap onto your lap.
And I'll try to poof him out.
All right.
Poof him.
As you do, you see the shadow take hold, melt into you again. And then once more you see the shadow coalesce back into him.
I'll kiss him on the head. And I will kind of like push his face into mine.
And he just lets it happen.
Squishy face.
And I'm just gonna kind of stroke his ears and say, I'm so sorry. And I'll poof him out. And I'll stay in my room a little bit with the feather.
Okay. As you sit in quiet,
Oh no.
we go to Rook and Smokey and Varkesh. What have you been doing in this time?
I've been chasing Rook around the room trying to pluck the feather.
I've been running, as it turns out.
What?
I mean, I guess we're just saying there, I suppose.
Okay.
Playing cards.
Oh, so are you all separate or are you all together?
I mean, what time is it?
It's probably around 3 o'clock.
Oh God. Game won't end.
you wanna sleep 19 hours, look at the actual cat. I've been up for 2 hours too long.
Yeah, Smokey will stay with them. But yeah, he's got nothing else to do today.
As you are all together at that point, during this time when Valindra is having her moment, you all suddenly just kind of look inside the center of your room, and there's a black sphere that appears out of nowhere. And as you each look at it for a moment, it just envelops all of you.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a
Good
bitch.
party.
I belong to a different god. I protest this abduction.
Does this often happen with gods, Varkesh?
I would not say yes, but I wouldn't put it past them.
Guys, I'm pretty sure we're being attacked by a darkness spell.
A what now?
And just look at the cat going,
You can't see
Can't
me.
see him.
what? I've got ears that here in the general direction. I'm sure he hasn't moved since the blackening.
Right, well, I'm gonna try for the door.
As you all are getting a little chaotic and consumed, a mask appears in front of each of your faces.
I
hello.
instinctively throw my mace at it.
Calm. It just passes through, does nothing.
Shit.
Calm. I am now bonded to your ally.
Which one?
Well, Varkesh, who's been seeking a new Valindra, yes, okay.
Her trials will be great. And though she has made a bargain with me, she must not know the bargain with her previous patron still holds strong. It is up to you three to make sure she does not falter. A task I beseech upon you all. You, the mask turns and makes itself focus all three towards Smokey in that direction.
Push the cat forward.
Deer in headlights, yeah.
You must ensure she never contacts her patron.
Ow.
You just go meow.
In order
How? No.
for her to do so, she must use the rod. Do not let her use it. Not once.
Okay, that's a request for someone who you're not seeming to do anything for. It seemed to me like you're asking for something.
I beseech her friends, her allies. She is now my champion.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, what should be the consequences should she use the rod and unintentionally make contact with Draken?
He can then focus his wrath upon her.
I see. So it may well end up just pulling her undead to us then, or something more insidious.
I cannot give you any more than I already have.
Does she anything?
What'd you say?
There you go.
Does she need anything?
From this one, do not
Which one?
use the staff. She's focusing on Smokey right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For you, as she looks over at Varkesh.
Oh, not me. I mean, hi.
You must bond to her. Make a seal that cannot be broken. A circle that has no end. You must infuse yours and your friend's essence into a ring.
Okay.
Take a bit from each of you and make a ring as black as pitch.
I get to pluck a feather.
He already has a feather. Stop it.
I get to choose which goes into the ring. I'm the craftsman here.
You guys are arguing in front of a god.
If her need is
It
dire,
does!
if her need is dire, it will help her. You must
How?
do this.
Will it help her?
I cannot tell you more than I already have said.
Fair enough. God stuff. I get
And
it.
lastly, you.
Teaching.
The mask does turn and focus
Crime
on
budgie.
Rogue.
Yes.
Your friend will need strength and resolve. You are the closest link I have to this world.
Oh, yes, the pitch black nature of my feathers, of course.
When the time comes, you must allow her to use you to beseech me.
Stare into my eyes.
An interesting request, but certainly.
She moves away.
You know that. Why can't Valindra know that her last patron is still connected to her?
If she becomes aware, it will open more ways for her to be influenced. If she thinks she has broken the pact, she will not seek him.
And so you're going to give us this warning, but you're not going to give us any way to help us to do it.
I leave it in your capable hands.
Oh, you haven't been watching very hard if you call us capable.
Speak for yourself, furry one.
Believe in yourselves. I see beyond your mortal coils.
Oh, I really want to ask her a question, but I can't.
She does drift continuously away from you as you are asking these things, slowly fading into black.
Damn it.
Wave.
As you leave it in silence, the blackness that had absorbed you suddenly recedes into the sphere and disappears.
I just pull Smokey in on one arm and then Rook on the other and go, guys, I've been asked to make a god ring. Oh, this is great. And then I pluck one of his feathers and run.
You!
Smokey just puts his face in his hands.
Bad bitch!
With the chaos ensued between all three of you.
Makes the chase him, but then once he leaves the room, just pauses, closes the door, turns around, looks to Smokey, he's like, I'm not that bothered by it. It's just more fun this way.
Inadvertently.
What if it does again?
Inadvertently, like a feather to me is like a whole handful. You've got like a bald patch in the back of your head.
No.
Yes.
Rook, will you help me steal the rod away from Valindra?
I think I can do that.
Ooh, I could actually take her out.
You
for
ran.
shopping. I'd pop my head back in.
When he realizes the bird is not interested in him, like a dog looking back to see if someone's chasing him.
I mean, it's Varkish. But I mean, I could end up taking her shopping, distract her for a little bit.
I was just thinking when she was sleeping.
I mean, that isn't creepy at all.
I'm
Reliable stratagem.
so far beyond creepy.
I mean, how do you think it'd look if she like woke up in the middle of the bed with a sheets near her face with an evil bird and then a glowy-eyed cat leaning over a bed stealing shit with hands like this?
I was implying just Rook doing it because he's the best equipped for the task.
Oh, someone's passing the buck.
Look, sometime when we're on the road and we don't have separate rooms.
No, we have to do this now.
Why?
Because she could use the staff at any time.
Here's a point.
I'm really gonna miss having that extra spell slot, you guys.
Look at it
You
back
got
up.
Winnie back. We don't know that, but you've got Winnie back.
I mean, we could just... I mean, we can't tell her... I mean, the only rule was that we can't tell her that she's still connected to Draken. But, I mean, I could just say, hey, that thing came from Draken. And so it's evil.
You know, I think a better idea might just be to have her pass it to Varkesh for safekeeping until we can drop it off to the Raven Queen. Or Ebon Empress. Misspoke.
Copyright
It's
infringement.
not the Raven Queen because it has a specific patron set up. Anyway,
Good save.
until we can pass it off to the Ebon Empress. As far as she knows, it has no purpose at this point nonetheless. Put
So
it in the bag of holding and it's away.
Well, yeah, I mean, probably honesty would be the best thing for this. I mean, excluding that she still has a connection. We can just say that we can make the suggestion that, hey, those things are obviously bad. Let's make sure they can't contaminate you anymore.
Yes, and how exactly does that whole bag thing work?
Well, if it's like the ones that I've heard about, you have to reach in and think about what you want to grab. And if it's in there, it'll come.
Oh, we're talking about my bag of holding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much like what Smokey just said.
Easy enough then. And then, should the need arise, I can always, when she's not looking, acquire it from the bag and move it elsewhere.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
Smokey. I just waved the feather that I just nicked from Rook, but I need something from you too, kitty cat.
I mean,
I do not want a hairball.
Those are on fire, after all.
you know, Varkesh, to be completely honest, if I know anything about these rituals, they're much more effective if the things are actually given willingly rather than stolen.
Just look at Rook. Do you want this back?
No, you can keep it.
See, gave it willingly.
Let me know when you're ready to start working and I'll come.
I'm Varkesh. I'm ready to do shit now.
Okay. Smokey will...
No toenail clippings.
Smokey will... He doesn't have claws, so he will take a dagger. He will take off just a small piece of hair from he has the poof.
Mhm.
He'll just get just a little bit and to Varkesh and say, wait a second. And he will reach into a pouch that you guys will have all noticed that he always wears around himself. And he will unstopper it, and inside will be a little glass vial sealed with beeswax and a cork.
What's that?
This is what I use as my arcane focus.
What? Beeswax?
No.
Probably what's in the bottle, Varkesh.
What is in the bottle?
These are the ashes of my mom.
Aww. Wait, does it have to be from his mother, or does it have to be from him? DM, clarify.
I think that, as I said, sacrifices are what's very much important. And this is something incredibly precious to me. I'm not going to use all of it, but just a pinch.
DM, clarify, can I use that? Or does it have to be from him directly?
If you want to.
Okay, well that's fine, that's all I need. And I will let, obviously, Smokey dish out his mother.
Just like literally just like a pinch, and he'll put it on like a piece of paper and fold it up into like a makeshift envelope so it doesn't go anywhere. And then he will carefully like recork the thing, do a little fireball, and re-melt the wax so it's contained again.
Yep.
And put it back in the pouch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is quite the sacrifice. Are you sure?
Well, when a goddess comes and talks to you about something, you think stakes are pretty high.
Yes, I suppose that is true.
It's very sweet, Smokey. And Rook, would you mind doing me a favor?
Yes.
Take that rapier and chop a little bit of the top of my right horn off, please. Not a lot, just enough for a facet. I'm watching you, bud.
He'll take his rapier.
I swear to fucking God.
Just cut off a little bit, not a ludicrous amount. A reasonable amount as far as he's aware.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware, now I'm just going to be self-conscious.
I mean, how much of a shaving do you want to indicate for him to take?
About less than an inch. Just off the tip of the horn.
So instead of your horn being you wanted to like cut it with a
just
point.
like about from the point, about half an inch from point into the horn. Just
okay. Make a sleight of hand check for me, please, Rook.
You son of a bitch! If you fuck this up,
Fuck it up. Fuck it.
Okay, no, you're pretty good at being able to manipulate. That when he said rapier, you're just like dagger, and you take out one of those.
Rapier.
Yeah, and you just take it. You can shave off a nice kind of curved, pointed piece, so that his horn doesn't look like it's like chopped with a flat end. Now it actually has a bit of a slide to it.
Just slightly naked, but that's my sacrifice too.
All right. For Rakesh, since you're busy, Rook, do you want to come with me and talk to Valindra?
Well, I think it best we wait until she comes to talk to us. After all, we have no reason to believe that she has made a new pact as of yet.
Shopping! And I go running out.
Well, I mean, the Ebon Interest just told us that Valindra is her champion, so I'm pretty sure the pact has been made.
Yes, but Valindra hasn't told us that herself, and it may indicate that there's something strange going on back if we were to initiate
As this happens, Rakesh has gotten to Valindra's door and...
God damn it.
No, I said...
No, shopping.
I said I'm going shopping.
Oh, I thought you were going to take Valindra's shopping.
No, they've already clarified that they want to talk to Valindra.
Okay.
Varkesh is accepting this.
Alright, so Varkesh is going on his own to go shopping.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that'll go
Alright,
poorly.
okay, this is good, this is fun.
I don't like it when you say things.
It works all fine. Alright, Smokey and Rook, what do you wish to do?
I've been given one job to do. I don't want to mess it up, and it just seems to me like the more time... I mean, obviously there's, social graces to consider, but I think this is more important. If you don't want to come, that's fine.
Well, no, that's what I'm trying to say. It's more believable and less of a concern if she doesn't believe that someone has gone behind her back to make something weird happen. Think of it this way. If you were to make some sort of pact with an unknown godly being, and suddenly, just after doing so, one of your friends came in asking for a belonging of yours, would that not be a little suspicious if it's out of nowhere relating to something you've used in the past?
Well, I'm going to tell her everything except the fact that her first patron's still connected to her.
But it's much simpler than what I had thought. Okay. Yes, I'll come.
All right. Go into Valindra's room.
Okay.
With a knock. There it is.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Smokey and Rook. Can we come in?
Yeah. Yes, you can't see me nod.
Not very well.
I have 4 eyes, but that doesn't mean I can see through space and time.
Open the door. Oh my gosh, Winnie!
Nope, Winnie's not there.
God damn it!
Jump the gun there.
Winnie is poofed.
Winnie is her shadow right now.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I can. I'll poof him in. I won't look at him, but then I'll poof him out.
Right.
So
Winnie
that-
just materializes, looks up excitedly, and then disappears.
Okay. Looks like you got your power back on.
Yeah.
Well, that was remarkably blasé.
Does everything feel good? Any kind of rustiness or anything?
I don't know. Does it feel different when I draw my power?
The difference is when you pulled one, it felt like touching cold ice. The other felt like touching cold steel.
Okay. I mean, it feels a little bit different, but it's back. Yay! I can help again.
Yeah, that's really good news. And turns out your new patron's a little more open than your last one.
What do you mean?
She just contacted all 3 of us downstairs.
Oh.
Unique experience. Suddenly being enveloped in a black sphere and talking to a series of masks. Very interesting.
Yeah, that's her from the sounds of it. I mean, what did she say?
Well, she told us that you are now her champion, and she asked us to support you in any way possible.
Well, that was nice of her. Do I notice that Smokey's missing some hair?
Ooh, make a perception check with disadvantage. It's not an easy thing to notice.
You know you don't gotta give me disadvantage on this.
Well, yes, but you forgot an actual legitimate haircut from AJ a while back, so...
Okay,
We're gonna-
okay.
I think a 4 is accurate for this, so yes, she does.
Wow.
You don't notice.
Rogue being a douche.
I'll remember that.
You don't seem to notice it, sadly. It's just...
Oh boy.
Yeah, she actually gave us each a little bit of a task. Not
Oh.
sure. Yeah, it was weird. I kind of tried to bring up payment for us, but she just, kind of godded it off. So,
As they want to do.
So my task was to make sure you do not use any of the relics that belong to Draken.
Okay.
Yes, and I was to serve as a conduit for you should that need ever arise, although she seems intent that it will, and Varkesh is to make a piece of jewelry for you, made of something from each of the 3 of us.
That seems this all seems very weird.
This is all very strange, but I assume that most things with making a patron with an esoteric, mostly unknown god are.
No. Oh, do I have a contract? Start looking around for a piece of paper.
I noticed you didn't ask for one.
I thought she would give me one.
Winnie just materializes with little pair of glasses. Big old contract was like, subsection 5.
It takes you no more to think about it for a little bit, and you begin to kind of contemplate for a moment. What she has been doing with your friends is creating the seal. Varkesh is making the seal for you now, and each of them are a part of this.
She made your friends your contract? That's fucked up.
Good. I have more to lose if this goes south.
I want to talk to my union rep.
Okay, well, I mean, did she say what would happen? Because, I mean, this is really handy. I can use kind of an extra spell a day. I can ask an extra question when I talk to a person.
Well, basically, it's not your power to use anymore, and because it's not your power, it can contaminate you and possibly kill you.
From my understanding being that the creature who created it was somewhat of an undead presence in its own right, it may be a little blasphemous to use it under to her purview anyway.
Ooh, thunder.
Yeah, sorry, guys. It's really storming over here.
It's rather appropriate.
Talk about a god of death.
I do like how Smokey broke his thing in less than 5 minutes.
Okay.
But he didn't say the thing that he wasn't supposed to say.
You weren't supposed to tell her not to use it.
What?
She told you not to tell Valindra.
She told him not to tell Valindra that she still maintains a link to Draken.
She said not to tell her not to use it because if she is even slightly aware that she still has the means to use it, and the link could be made whole again.
I haven't said that. I've said that
don't
she
use it, which
it.
implied that she could use it.
Well, that's Smokey.
Yeah. Which is fine.
What do you want?
Oh, I don't want anything else from you. I've got all I need, so we're good.
Oh, lovely. I love the cat.
Oh my god. If anything happens to Smokey, I will kill myself. I'll just...
Dude, there are reasons why she doesn't like Smokey already.
Wait, there are reasons...
Maybe she's not a cat person.
No, I'm talking about the fact that I have a Draken's spell in my head.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, that happened.
Hand the rod and finger bone to Smokey.
Alright. Well, Barkesh seemed extremely excited about making this ring, so he said he was going shopping, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He was quite excited about it, in fact. I'm sure he's off seeking supplies now.
Tee-hee.
Well, I guess we can go figure out how to contact your family. Now that I'm sort of taken care of, I guess.
We have the means. It's just a matter of setting a time and a place, and we'll want some neutral ground. Preferably somewhere outside the city, I would think. Somewhere unlikely to have too many witnesses and chances of interruption.
Maybe like in a flat field where there's few places to hide.
That would be ideal.
Look at Kayla talking all tactile. Commando in a previous life.
She is a fighter. She knows battle.
She's there with some fucking fire ash, just ready for fucking war.
You think the mask she wears is? It's war paint.
It's the blood of my fallen foes.
I mean, do you think we could even sort of pick the location and then I can dimension door you in? So that I don't know what advantage that would give other than the fact that they would have kind of a surprise brought on them. But
well, while there is something to be said for pomp and circumstance and a certain degree of production value to a meeting of this sort, I think it better that we save your spells should we need to use it for any purpose while we're out there. Such as for an escape, for example, if it does go south.
Yeah. I'll start. Do I have another mark on me now?
You don't see another mark on your body.
Is the old one still there?
It is still there.
The new one's on your butt.
Sweet. Always wanted a butt tattoo.
Made in Draken.
Okay.
It's actually just the middle finger pointed at the other tattoo.
Good. Well, I guess... How do we contact your family then?
I think the easiest method would just be to send a messenger through the other Kenku. And we should not do it too far ahead of time. as any ambush that could be established would certainly be made better with advance notice.
Well, I mean, do you want one of us to deliver the message to a Kinku if you tell us where to go? That way they don't even have the chance to kind of grab you?
That's maybe a good idea. I will teach you some of their. I'll teach you some select phrases to gather their attention through my people's hand speech too, if I could.
Okay.
All you must do is catch the eye of a Kenku bearing this symbol, and kind of reach into my pack and pull out the one that was attached to the fancier set of equipment that we wore going to the Dragon Ball.
You are still in your illusion,
And the symbol
by the
that's
way.
on there. What was that?
You are still in your illusion, by the way. You are still... You're half elf.
Well, yeah.
You
I am?
pull it out. Yeah.
Well, no, I was in
Yeah.
the half-elf illusion.
Yeah, you're in the half elf.
Yeah,
that's
you're
what
the
I'm
half
saying.
elf.
When you pull things out, it's like you're going into like your clothing and then out of
Yeah.
the illusion.
So it looks a little bit silly. I'm worth it. Kind of point to that symbol that was on the lapel the entire time. So that's one there. Look for a Kenku bearing that symbol. Gather its attention however you must. And watch my hands for this. You'll need to make these signs exactly. And kind of sign, I have a message for you. Prepare to copy.
Do a performance check and an intelligence check for Valindra.
Oh, God.
So performance is Rook.
Low.
4 hours later.
12 months later.
All right, this is an interesting process, but yeah, you definitely
Two
do your
campaigns
best to
later.
do this, and she is
I'm
just
just
like
gonna-
looking at it and going, "Okay, I think
I'm
I got
just-
it to memory."
I'm just gonna look at Rook, and I'm gonna look at Smokey and be like, did you get that?
Yeah, Smokey hasn't been paying attention.
Can you do it again, Rook, for Smokey?
You show up. Let's see if you can do it. And I'll be watching.
All right. Oh, you see, Valindra can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Valindra, make a performance check with disadvantage.
15!
I mean, she pretty much gets it luckily that time.
I'm
Whether
sure
she'll
she'll-
do it again, I don't know, but
They can understand speech, right? Can't they just say, I have a message for you, prepare to copy?
Sure, if you want to scare them off. That hand speech will give you the best advantage to keep their attention long enough to pass the message on reliably.
I'll keep practicing it over and over and over again.
okay, all right. You focus on doing that as Varkesh is out in the shops looking around for what exactly?
I am at the blacksmith, and I will go over to the nearest blacksmith, and I will say, I need steel. I need small ingots of differentiating steel. Either one with more zinc or nickel in it, please.
Okay, make a perception check for me
Why?
to find a blacksmith.
13.
Okay. You're able to focus all your efforts on finding the blacksmith.
Sniff it out.
And as you do, you definitely get to one that does seem to have what you require, a varying amount of steel.
And I say what I said before to the person.
They're able to provide it for you, though of course it will cost you, and they tell you that it'll take 1
Small
gold.
amounts. Small amounts of ink. Tiny amounts.
Tiny amounts? Tiny amounts?
Yeah.
Alright.
You're going to say 1 gold,
3
right?
silver.
Okay, that's fine. I can deal with that.
They give you
And I paid
basically small shavings, tiny bits of, like, extra bits that got chipped off.
Well, I'm looking for ingots, but that's fine. Okay, I'll take that. That's fine. 2 differentiating steels. That's perfectly fine. And then after I get that, I'm giddily just going to, like, run out after paying the fellow, of course, and I'm going to try and find a jeweler's.
Make another perception check.
I just find myself, like, in the worst fucking situation ever. But, I might actually.
Alright, it takes you a little bit longer this time, but you start browsing the local market, trying to find anyone who could be a jeweler. Eventually, you do find one place that does seem suitable enough for you to get what you might need. As you look inside, you can see a few rough-cut gems here and there, some semi-precious stones.
Okay, I will smile happily, even though my smiles always look like I'm about to eat someone. So I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna act very calm, very reserved, because I'm in a place of jewels, and I'm like, "Excuse me, do you also happen to have any rough cut sapphires lying about the place?"
All right, as you walk inside to look around to see if you can spot any, the shopkeeper does look at you a little bit more concerned, as you can see what appears to be a human just staring you up and down, not sure what you want. And they just do this like very quiet, silent point in that direction.
I look over into the direction.
You see them. You can see what appears to be a few, what look to be like 2 or 3 tiny sapphires. They're very small.
Enough for a decent ring?
Enough to be maybe made into, one at least could be made as a centerpiece. The others look to be more like offshoots.
How big is the centerpiece ring gem potentially? Are we talking like wedding kind of engagement ring kind of?
Close to that, maybe a little smaller, but yeah.
I'll take it.
Okay.
How much is that, my good scared friend, who I'm not going to eat, so you do not have to worry?
He just kind of looks around. 5 gold.
Okay. I just put 5 gold like really loudly on this counter.
Thank you.
You are most welcome. Goodbye, and I just run out the door.
He kind of looks after you as you move away.
Sweet. And I'm going to find myself a nice little nook corner somewhere secluded and just set up all my stuff.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
14?
I'm just going to give that a little looky. Ooh, I think it's 14. Yep, it's 14.
Okay.
Is it good or bad?
As you find an alleyway and you look around and just kind of get yourself settled and whatnot, you look up for a moment, and just for a split second, you see black feathers just like moving out of your sight as you looked in that direction.
You go looking around.
Meh. Just sat back up and start working.
Okay. Are you going to use Fabricate or your Channel Divinity?
Oh no, this is for the ring making specifically, the actual band itself, this is going to be handcrafted because it's special, because it's a god ring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the differentiating steels and I'm going to create a band, and then I'm going to take some gold and silver from my person and then create a gold and silver intermingling spiral within the center of the band that will represent Smokey and the ashes of his mother, and then with the black feather, well, with the ashes as well, I'll use that to add additional carbon into the steel, and then with my horn, I will use that as a setting, and then I'll use that obviously with the sapphire on top. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Beautiful, beautiful.
Alright, you know this will take you some time to craft it thoroughly. So you focus on this craft, make a blacksmith, or no, this is a jeweler's check.
Yes, thankfully I am very good at this. I say as I fail it.
No, you're not going to fail. You got this.
Oh, yeah. 18.
Alright. So, you're spending the rest of the day focusing intently on crafting this. To make this jewelry, you are pouring not only the essence of your skill, but even the part of yourself to infuse into the ring along with Smokey and Rook, as this is your main intent for the entire time, as the rest of them are doing what?
Trying to teach Valendra sign language.
How to throw gang signs.
You definitely get the sense that she seems to get the grasp of it after about maybe 20 minutes of just repetition.
Oh, you're muted, Cody.
Can't hear you.
Thank you. Excellent. Good. So that will catch their attention. Next step would be to actually determine what message we want to send. Find a decent meeting place. Perhaps we should scout one out.
Send a tweet.
I mean, yeah, didn't you say that we should only give them like a few hours notice? So, I mean, we have all night to prepare Valendra, so...
Yeah, so we can go and find a couple of suitable locations, decide where we want to meet specifically, and then craft our message for them.
Okay.
You're still really quiet.
Yeah, you are still pretty quiet. So you think, I mean, is it safe for you guys to go out, or is this something I need to do by myself, or?
Oh, no. I mean, we look totally different from how we are, so...
Okay.
For now, we should be safe to move about. So long as we stay out of the old district, I have no reason to believe it will remain otherwise.
Okay, well, let's go walk around the city, outside, see if we can find something.
That's a good question. Which district did I just set up shop in?
In the new district.
I have no idea if that's good or bad.
That's good.
All right.
Setting up shop in the middle of a random alleyway in any district is a bad idea, but you do you.
I am an 8-foot-tall, 600-pound half dragon. I'm
In
fine.
a city you know to be reputable for gang violence.
Meh. They're a bunch of birds.
This is Barcat.
Handle the birds. I'm fine.
So,
No end to my ass-kicking talents.
so you three head out into the new district under the illusion for Smokey, and I think actually all of you are under illusion still. Valindra still is under the illusion, and yeah, you make your way outside, and you look for a Kenku that seems to have the symbol. Make an investigation check.
Are we? We're not looking now. We only want to give them a few hours' notice. We're waiting for tomorrow.
Yeah, we're looking for, like, a place outside the city that's, like, flat open field kind of thing.
So you browse outside the city has a lot of open space near the front of it that you could easily find to be suitable. It's more like an open expanse, and then maybe about 200 yards in, you start to get small bits of trees coming back in, little bits of cultivated forest almost.
Seems reasonable.
So
Yeah.
You definitely find you're looking for an ideal spot for you to ambush or to be on the best strategic ground.
No, we're looking for somewhere that actually completely negates the possibility of ambushes.
Alright. Yeah, you're able to see a barren, wide open place near the center, like kind of like about maybe 50 feet from the wall, and that gives you a good, like, area.
Perfect. So that's a pretty good spot to go to right there. Now we'll need to come up with a way to signal them when it comes time to point them to the right locations. Sure, this is not the only clearing out here.
Well, couldn't we say, like, outside city gate, quarter mile to the east?
Yes, okay.
Do a landmark?
Good directions like that.
I mean, I could also draw a map.
Yeah, I mean, not a bad idea. Kenku will give a message correctly down to the syllable, but having the map as a visual aid may help.
Okay. I will try to draw a map to where we are currently.
Okay, it's fairly easy enough to get a good idea of where it's going to be. It's crude,
Okay.
but it's effective.
Alright. Is there something that... I mean, is there some kind of, like, secret phrasing or something that you would use to let your family know that it's really you and that you're okay so that they don't try to come prepared for the worst?
Well, no, but Matron Maggie did see me specifically, so they know I'm back in town.
Right? Well, I guess we'll find a Kenku. I mean, do we want to do this tonight so that... Or
No.
do we want to do it in the morning?
Yes. We want to give Smokey time to regenerate his magical ability.
Alright. Well, I'll go find a Kenku tomorrow morning then. What time?
Okay.
Shortly after we wake up.
No, what time should I tell them to meet?
That will depend on when we wake up and get out in a position.
Yeah, we probably want to give them maybe an hour or two's notice at most.
I mean,
What are you
What if-
fabricating?
As I said, I would make the band by hand, and the rest I'd fabricate.
Okay. Alright.
I mean, what if I just went to them and said, hey, can we do this right now? So, like, as you guys left for the field, then I could wait and I could escort them. That way, I make sure that they get to the right location. I make sure that they don't have time to plan anything sneaky.
I'd feel better if you weren't by yourself with them.
That's
Okay,
a great way to
well
ensure
then-
they have a hostage or prisoner to force us to them.
Well, then, me and Smokey, or me and Varkesh.
Well, no, I'm saying that nobody should be with them. We give them the message and we get over here.
Alright.
Go back to the inn.
Yeah, we'll walk and talk.
Okay.
Make our way back to the inn.
All right. You make your way back to the inn. Each of you basically going to your room, settling down for the evening, doing anything you'd like to do in the meantime. Any tasks? Any spells? Anything like that?
I mean, I'll do my Morning Kind and Sanctum. That's what it is.
Okay.
I have a 4th level left.
Yeah, sure, sir. You private sanctum it again to make sure that it is secure.
Yeah, it's probably still overlapped at this point, but yeah, starting it anew.
But yeah, you definitely make sure that everything is secure, and you all just wish to sit tight, wait down for the next day.
Yeah.
I have something, but yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, you can go ahead.
All right, I will prepare myself, and I will cast Ascending.
Okay.
Finally.
To my Nana. I know, this day took forever! So my Ascending is, I already counted it. Nana, Bahira and Arad attacked me for Grimoire. Grimoire communicating with me. Trustworthy? Are you on the run? Are you, Dory, Barbie, and Edie safe?
Was that all 25? It sounded like it was 25.
That's 25.
Okay.
Yeah, I counted it several times.
Yeah, alright, okay. Yeah.
I read it off.
Yeah. So, as you say that, the reply to you is very soft and whispered. Is that you, Smokey? Oh, thank the 9, you're safe. We're fine, though we're keeping low. I'm sorry, your siblings. We cannot stop them. Stay safe. Goodbye.
Lots of love from Turkish.
One more level 3.
Okay.
God damn, 10 keypad. Smokey takes some time to adjust that. He realized they said we, so that means at least some of them are together. But she would say if they were in direct danger. That means they don't have them. Okay, Smokey. Yeah, he doesn't. He's gonna sleep on what to ask. He doesn't know what else to ask.
She would love to tell you more, but she can't.
Yeah. So Smokey will just ask. He'll cast it one more time. I'm glad to hear all of you are alright. What else can you tell me? And this is just ascending, so you can tell me more information.
Okay, so you just finish up the thing until like the
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, you have to say the words, then it goes through. So as that goes out, it returns. Trust the grimoire. Keep it safe. Do not
secret.
let them take it. I will try to contact you shortly. Please be safe, my little one.
So sweet.
Hey, okay. And yeah, hearing that makes me feel better. Glad I did it. And I will just curl up in my room and try to sleep.
Okay. Valindra, looked like you wanted to do something.
Yeah, just something small and stupid. I'm gonna laying down trying to go to sleep thinking about everything that happened. I'm gonna try to summon Winnie as a cat.
Oh, this is going to take you an hour to do.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
So you wish to do that?
No, once I see that it takes a little longer
And it
to
would
do
take
that.
10 gold of incense and herbs to do.
Yeah. Once I see that it's not instant, I'll try to poop Winnie.
Okay. Winnie comes back, and as he rematerializes, looks around very confused, but then sees you and immediately cuddles up next to you.
I'll poof him out.
Disappears. As your shadow.
And I'll try to go to sleep without him.
Oh,
Okay.
that effort just for her not to be interested anymore.
Cash.
What did he do? They say from a random alley.
All right. And so yeah, that's you turning in for the evening. Rook.
Pretty much just take some extra time checking over all of his equipment, kind of as a means to steady his mind to the routine of it all. Then he'll just bed down as well.
All right. So Varkesh, you continue this process, and eventually you get to the point where you start to fabricate, and the fabrication is very interesting, of course, because as everyone sees you begin to cast the magic, and though you are in the alley, it's a pretty obvious thing that you are a big blue dragonborn hiding in an area, and it's
Half dragon.
half dragon. And as you are doing this, you begin to finalize the ring, and as this happens, you hear panicked footsteps behind you as you suddenly look and see Lulu coming up and going, "Ah, Varkesh, darling, I've been looking for you for ages. Where is everyone? Where are they?"
First question, how did you find me? Second question, are you a devil lady?
Answer 1, I could find you easily because you are a big blue blundering thing, and anyone I ask here can indicate where you went. Simple enough.
Okay, third thing, that hurt. And fourth, that hurt.
We have no time for this, darling. Where are your friends? Are they back at the inn?
Inside check.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if it's her.
I'm gonna inside that biatch.
All right.
Bah!
Come on. Woo!
She seems sincere and very worried.
They are what they are supposed to be? Why? What's happening?
Damn it. The people at the guild hall let your friend's location be known. Sadly, as they know me and they understand that you work for me and my contract is well written out in documents. We have to get to the inn. Come, we have to hurry. Go.
Alright, I just put my shit in my bag and I'm running with her.
Your friends are in danger. She keeps moving
This
as
shit's
she's
expensive!
as she's
I'm
moving as
packing
fast as
up.
she can. The court has found out. Rook's identity has been notified. They're out to find him now.
Okay, what does that mean? I'm saying when I'm running up behind her.
It means if we don't get to them in time, they might get to him before us.
And then what?
I don't know. Hurry! And she moves as quick
We're
as
in
she
different
can.
rooms.
And as this happens, the rest of you three are winding down for the evening. Can I please get a passive perception check from all three of you?
Want to check or just her passive?
Your passive perception, please.
15.
20.
14?
11.
All right.
It's just the way she said that. 11?
All right.
Oh, fuck.
So,
Yep.
as this is happening, you all are just in your rooms, quiet and content. Rook, you don't
The
notice
sky.
this. Suddenly, the world is very quiet for you, and you don't hear the sound of a window being opened. You don't hear the sound of footfalls coming on the wooden floor. And behind you, something lurks. And it attacks.
Santa Claus.
Why does this keep happening to me?
I wonder why.
So, it is oh gosh, hold on, I just need to double check if I get this correct.
If it's an assassin, it's an auto crit.
Yes, I just can't remember. Oh gosh. It's a pure auto crit.
If it
is an assassin
surprise.
It
subclass,
is, and
yes.
it counts as surprise. Yep. All right. Yeah. Sadly. All right.
It's death for
So it just automatically crits on you. Oh, if it hits, it counts as a crit. All right.
It does. Yeah, it does have to hit.
All right. It does have
I
to
have
hit first.
advantage because I didn't know they were there.
2 nat ones.
All right.
Unlikely.
It's gonna crit. It would like double crit or something stupid.
Hey, use them up.
18.
Unfortunately, does hit.
All right.
Yes.
So the 18 does, and that counts as a crit. All right. Okay. So, jeez, darn it. Okay. So for Rook, that is going to be. All right.
Can he uncanny dodge? Yeah, I was
While
wondering.
you're sleeping. Just like roll.
You can't
is he
use
a thing?
reactions while you are surprised.
Fuck, you're right.
Okay. I don't know that.
You just like roll over to one side.
It's part of the surprise condition.
It is, unfortunately.
Alright. Okay. So it is...
You'll roll the damage already. Jesus.
Hold on, because it's the sneak has 2 things.
It's a lot.
As poison too.
It's like 6 million damage.
Alright. So 57.
Ooh, well, I'm still alive.
Okay, alright. It is not an attempt to kill you. It is an attempt to knock you out. And during that moment you feel a very sudden on the back of your head, and you don't hear anything. The sound is dampened. There's no noise whatsoever. And you look around at this point, and you can see 2 Kenku. One in the back, opening the window, looking around, and another one right beside you with a big cudgel that just bonks you on the head. I need you to roll for initiative.
Say something.
I'm giving up on you.
Oh dear.
It's not been your night for rolls.
Alright.
Every time it's just like, hey, guess
Okay.
what? Fuck you.
Oh, you're going down.
Yep.
Alright. So, the first one maneuvers himself around you as you turn to look at him and just quickly moves in the silence and pushes you in a direction where it's now you're flanked. And he goes and he tries to bump you again on the head.
Roll something shitty.
Cody, do rogue shit! Get out!
I would love to do rogue shit, but I'm not gonna get a chance to because that hits.
Well, you do get uncanny dodge in this one. 18.
Yeah, so I'll stay conscious, thankfully.
What do you do?
Oh, 18? No, 18 does hit.
Alright, and that's the hit, and then the
They get
damage...
flanking?
They have flanking right now.
Okay, we do flanking.
2 of them, one was at the window, one was just like right next to him.
Yeah.
They kind of...
I forgot if our campaign does flanking or not.
It does. And so then that's,
Uncanny dodge, the first one.
Alright, well, it's only 1 attack right now, the first one, so he's trying to bunking you out, and that's,
Because he has sneak attack.
42.
43.
43, sorry. And then minus that, 42 equals 21.
Yeah.
I'm still up.
Oh, wow, you have...
With 1 hit point.
Oh, boy!
God.
Oh, boy!
Oh my god!
Alright, with you not going down with the first one, he's going to try to use his bonus action to bomb you with the other one.
Come on, don't do it. Don't do it.
Alright, and
No.
then... 22.
Damn it.
Down he goes.
Alright, and then it's just 1d4. 4.
I mean, it's still. I have 1 hit point. I'm unconscious.
With the main one,
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
and you're
You little
just kind
shit.
of in that moment, a moment of daze as you just literally,
There's
cat claws, they
On
hurt.
my leg.
But as you are dazed for a moment, you kind of try to stabilize yourself, and as you're ready to fall, you grip the edge of the bed and look up, and you can see the other dagger pommel just, boom, bunks you right in the head to knock you unconscious.
That's the quickest I've ever seen Rook go down.
Well,
Do I hear him fall to the floor? or
silence.
anything?
silent
It's
spell.
silent, and right now, in the very beginning, you wouldn't have noticed it, but then after a while, when you start, like, breathing, you would notice that your exhales don't make noise. Maybe, perhaps, if you're perceptive enough, I need you both to roll perception checks.
19.
Okay, Valindra.
I mean, that was
Alright.
literally 12 seconds, but
Alright.
hopefully.
Yeah, that would have been 12 seconds. Valindra, during that time, you would have noticed that as you move in the bed, the creaking stops. Your breath is not heard, and you kind of look around and go... And you just realize you can't talk.
Ooh, I'm instantly running to everyone's room. Just
Alright, go ahead. You have 3 rooms to pick from. Shall we just
Who's-
leave it to chance?
who's closest to? I guess we'll go
They're kind
for
of
it.
left and right of you. Pick a number for who?
I'll do
You can do it. You just type in a D3.
Yep, she can do a D3.
Smoky 1, Rook 2, Varkesh 3.
Okay.
Is it slash roll?
Yep, slash roll 1d3.
3?
1d3. See whose room you go to first.
Okay.
I didn't pick you for 3 because I never roll the highest option. God damn it!
Okay, you first immediately go to Varkesh's room. Varkesh's room is locked, and you try to get through, and it's you just make a strength check because you know at this point it's like a. I'm imagining this is like barge through because you're not going to be trying to jiggle or call out because the silence is. So you're just banging into the door just in case, as Rook, you are starting to be hoisted up and loaded on the
Absconded
shoulders
with.
of one as the other is trying to make sure that the place is clear.
Wait, okay, so I'm running and panicking and everything, trying to think, and then I probably am smart enough to think Rook's the one who might be in trouble in this city of all of us. I'm guessing.
Okay.
And then I will action search to dimension door into the room. Into Rook's room.
Into Rook's room. Okay. So during that time, wait, is Dimension Door verbal?
How big? It's not that big of a radius, though. How small are these damn rooms?
It is a 20-foot sphere, and you guys are all next to each other.
It is verbal. The only component to it
Dimension
is
door
verbal.
is only one thing. And it is only verbal.
But that's fine. But you do know that when you try to do that at first, you just realize, I gotta get to a place where I can do sound. You move outside of the bubble's range. And then once you can hear your footfalls again, you then turn, and at that moment you verbalize, and you say it, and you materialize in Rook's room as you look and see two Kenku looking at you with Rook's unconscious body in their hands. Surprise.
Oh my god.
Go ahead and roll for initiative.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh dear. Two hostages.
18.14.
Alright. You definitely go before one of them.
Okay.
Right. So the one that sees you come at is just not liking this and immediately hoists Rook's body onto the windowsill, leaving him there, half dangled on there, as the other one who's by the window still keeps an eye out and guards the body while he takes a defensive position to prevent you from getting anywhere close. And he goes ahead, holds it up, and waits for you.
So Rook is on the windowsill.
He's kind of like half over it, like as if he was sick, just blip. But you are in silence right now.
I know. Is this how high up are we in the inn?
You're on the second floor, about maybe 11 to 12 feet off the ground.
Okay. Because I do have silence as a spell. As a spell, sorry. Is silence like only a lateral radiance?
It's a sphere.
It's a sphere. Okay. I will. I'm just gonna try to tackle Rook out of the window and wrap my body around him so that I land as I fall.
She's gonna kill him.
Okay, alright. So it's definitely gonna be... I mean, yeah, they wouldn't expect that. So yeah, you just start to run forward, but you kind of veer off to the side to get past the first Kenku, to get to the windowsill and do a leap tackle at that point. You are still going to feel a attack come at you from behind as the
Bring
reaction...
it!
So let's see if he can hit.
Don't crit, don't crit, don't crit.
15.
15. That misses.
Alright, so as you feel it, you hear it go bing on the breastplate that you have across your chest that Varkesh had made for you, allowing you to quickly grab on to Rook, and as you do, you hold him tight and begin to then fall freely down out of the way. The other Kenku, looking at it, very surprised, he's going to make his reaction attack, but instead of it on you, he's going to do it on Rook's body.
Okay, I'm gonna use my shield as a reaction.
Ooh.
Yes!
And pose disadvantage?
Impose disadvantage.
Ooh, you evil warrior,
It is just a straight, though, because he's unconscious.
Yeah.
Otherwise he'd have advantage, because Rook is unconscious.
Yeah, okay, alright, so it's just flat then.
But he also kind of has partial cover, right? Because I'm kind of like around
By the
him.
way, if
He's trying.
miss.
I'll say I'll give it disadvantage because Valindra is doing the whole, like, she's positioning her body and her shield is on her back. So I kind of like the idea of her just kind of turning and making sure that the only chance that he might have to grab Rook's body is by the feet at the very last second. So it'll see if he can get past it. Ooh.
That'll hit.
All right.
Well,
So at that point, he needs to make a strength saving throw. Because you
trying
are
to grapple?
to hold on to you. He grappled. Now it's just like we've got the weight of two people now on him, and it's the version of hanging off a cliff, and he's not strong.
He's a Kenku.
He's not strong.
What,
And
just
it's
gonna be
a
a
board
board
now. So as he grabs on, He holds on tight, and instead of keeping grip, he falls out with you at the window. Grabs it.
That's fine.
Falls
Fuck
down.
him.
All three of you plummet down to the next floor as you hit the ground, and you can hear yourself with a bit of a... Well, you can't hear anything, actually, still. It's just a...
Yeah.
Impact. Alright, so you will all take 3 points. That is 1 death saving throw for you, Rook, I believe.
Yep.
Alright, I will mark that down.
Okay, important question. 2 important questions. First one, would I have had to use an action surge whenever I tried to go to Varkesh's room and then realized that I should check on Rook instead and then ran and then dimension doored?
You did say action surge to do it.
Well, yeah,
and that
but
allows that allowed you to do it within the time before they even got him out the window.
Okay, so I don't have action surge. Good to know.
Yeah, but you definitely got him there.
You're doing
Was
good.
tackling him and going out the window, was that my movement only, or was that my action and my movement?
To grab him out the window.
Yeah.
That was your action and your movement, because your action was a grapple, which succeeded on the unconscious body.
Okay, well, I will bonus action spare the dying.
Is that a verbal?
Oh,
Son of a bitch!
It's also a
Silence,
action to
man.
cast, I'm pretty sure.
not for her.
Yeah, but 1 second. Okay, yeah, it's still quiet.
Oh, he's got concentration. Interesting.
Metaing that out a little bit, but yes.
Just says it out loud and the king is like,
The caster would stay behind.
But yeah, all right. So then, then it's the caster's
There we
turn,
go.
who is going to stand up and look at you, very, very peeved, and going to try and he's going to try to pull Rook from you. It's going to be a tug of war. I'd like you to make a strength check for me.
You can do it. Channel, you're in the Varkash, you can do it.
Strength check or strength save?
Strong.
Strength check.
Strength check.
Come on.
It rolled in that one. So, as you pull,
Fuck
you
you,
both
mate.
are kind of in that bruised moment where you've fallen a story and you're just kind of like, ow, and you can feel him try to pull and you're just like, no, and you're just that last second grabbing and trying to pull him in, and as he does, he tries to grab but just slips and then falls backwards and hits the ground again, laying prone for a moment, and he tries to stand back up. That's his turn. The other one in the window kind of looks up and down, sees you, Valindra, takes out a dagger, and throws it at you.
Okay.
Fuck you, no sneak attack.
Well, he's going to actually try to sneak beforehand a little bit to be clever, but I think we'll see if Valindra can sense whether or not he's up. Ooh, no, you can't sense him.
Oh.
He's very clever on waiting
trying to
until
hide.
you turn around and then fling. All right. So he is going to roll a 26.
Yeah, that hits.
All right, so you just take.
Christ, at least-
Because so if there's sneak attack, then the attack, if it hits, it counts as a crit, right? Is that what
no,
gives
no,
them?
no. Only if you're surprised.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
You're aware of what is happening.
Yeah, so you will take 28 points of damage as the dagger sticks right into the side of your shoulder a little bit.
Turn if they get the upper hand.
But that's his turn, because he used his bonus action to hide underneath the windowsill, waiting to peer out and see that you were open and vulnerable, and then quickly flung it out. You can see him still up on the windowsill. And Rook is in your hands as the other Kenku has fallen on his ass and is now trying to stand back up. It's your
Okay.
turn. Varkesh, make a constitution check for me, by the way, as this is going on.
Oh, did I need to roll a death save since I started rolling saves from the fall?
No, you
No,
only have to do it
'cause-
for that one, for the damage.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Constitution check or save?
Check.
Well,
Okay. Just want to know how long it's going to take Varkesh to get there.
Oh.
apparently I'm winning.
I
You're
will.
working hard.
Wait up, devil lady. Wait up.
I'm going to run 30 feet.
Okay, well, it's 15, because Rook is kind of dragging and slowing you down.
I will run
But-
15 feet. Am I outside the...
Yes.
I am?
As you move
I'm
away
going-
in the alleyway away from it, you are now outside the sphere's edge.
I'm going to dimension door. How close are we to the edge of the city?
Oh, So, not quite 500. You're probably a good, almost 1,000 feet
Okay.
to get
I will-
outside the city wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will dimension door 500 feet towards an alleyway.
And towards the wall.
Huh?
Like towards the wall, like an alleyway somewhere
Yeah.
in that direction.
An alleyway close, like going towards the edge of the city, but an alleyway far away.
Okay, as you immediately vanish again, you see the Kenku are just staring at you before you find your vision now looking in an alley with Rook in your arms.
Oh god, okay. Healing potion. I take out a healing potion, I shove it down his throat.
Alright, that'll be an action for your next turn, which is fine, because during that time, they have no idea where you went, and they start looking around and going out, doing a search, a hunt. But that would give you enough time to at least feed him a health potion.
Smokey's just snoring in his bed.
Oh, yeah.
Feed him a health potion.
Alright, yep. Rook, you come back to consciousness in a dark alley at night with Valindra leaning over you.
Valindra, where are we?
Still in the city. I think we should go out to the field where we plan to meet your family. Somewhere where we can see everything.
Yes, of course, but where's Varkesh? Where's Smokey?
I'll send Winnie back to go get them. They're still in the hotel room. They were asleep.
Okay, well, best we start moving then. Let's move quick.
Okay, and we will stealthily.
Smells.
No. Alright, I need you to roll the health die for
Oh.
Rook so he knows how much health he's got.
Oh, that's right. I guess I should do that. 2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 4
Two.
for a normal.
No,
It's 2d4 plus 2 for a normal.
Well, which one is she using is the question. The smallest
Do
one?
Do I have a greater one? I'll use a greater one if I have it.
I remember someone was handed off a greater and a regular.
Yeah, that
was me.
I think I ended up keeping the greater. No, I just think I just had one.
Alright,
Smokey
alright.
gave Rook some
2d4
health
plus
potion.
2d4 plus 2. Ooh,
8! Not bad. Alright, so you recover 8 hit points at this time.
Cool.
Even though Valindra could have done Spare the Dying to give you extra health that way, it's okay.
what? No, I can't do that.
Yes, you can.
Wait, can Spare the Dying actually give health?
If she,
As
no, wait,
an
that's on herself only, isn't it? No.
Yeah, that's only on me.
Yeah, only on herself. Darn. Okay, that's
You're
alright.
dying on yourself.
But yes,
Cats,
so
but
you start
dying on
making your
yourself.
way out. Make a stealth check for me, both of you.
Well, Rook said not stealthily, just run, so...
Oh, booking it. Okay.
Yeah, so we're just
I mean,
full
we got
on
the distance
dash.
on these guys. Might as well.
Alright. Okay.
And I am really missing my rod right now.
Hmm.
But I will,
Okay.
I am summoning Winnie to go... I summon Winnie into Smokey's room, and he's gonna just start pawing at Smokey.
Okay, interesting.
You can't summon them into there. There's a range limit on it. It has to be
Yeah,
within 30
it's a 100-foot range, and you dimension doored 500 feet.
I'm not allowed...
Yeah, but Winnie can be poofed up in that direction and make his way towards there
Yeah.
and get to the door and start scratching at it.
Yeah, he will
Alright.
do that.
Alright, so Winnie starts moving in that direction as he books it in that way, as you two just head straight on to the gate, running as fast as you can, not caring to be stealthy, just going, and praying that they don't know where you are. Varkesh, you are running at this time, eventually turning the corner with Lulu as you look towards maybe where the inn might be, about a couple, like maybe 50 feet or maybe 100 feet away from you. You're starting to get to that point where you're reaching that area, and you can just see that the place is quiet and calm, but Lulu is still panicked and making your way as fast as you can towards it. As you get to the door, you can see that Winnie is now on the floor and is moving as quick as he can towards the front door.
As I'm running, I'm like, shit! I'm dead, folks! I just run the other way.
As Winnie just keeps on going, ignoring you, just focused on the task at hand, you do your version of, like, panic, but then you keep going as Lulu is just not unfazed. She's like, that's a good sign, right? Good sign!
I mean, he was dead!
But now he's back! That must mean she has her powers! Quickly! And she just goes through the front door, following Winnie.
Okay. I'd just follow Winnie as well. Big fucking shite.
Alright, as Winnie goes up there, she looks around and she looks to each door. She sees Valindra's is open. It seems to be just the only one. She pounds on them, but as she goes in, she goes... She looks at you, Varkesh.
You guys got there fast.
Big legs. What do you want me to do? I mean,
As you say that, nothing comes out of your mouth.
Ooh. I kick open the door.
Which door?
Smokies.
Okay, make a strength check.
That is the one that Winnie's at.
Yep. Winnie is.
Bah. Oh my lord.
Oh, jeez.
As you try to do that, you just you get a version of trying to do a big swing kick, but the hallway's a little too narrow, so instead you just kind of get your ankle on the bit and you're just like, ow, 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 ow.
Fine, I'll use my mace and I'll just slam the lock until it busts.
Make an attack.
Mace.
Ooh. Well, 13 will hit. 8. All right, you begin to break it. It
I
probably
think you
needs
get
another
fire
strike.
damage on that too, yeah?
Oh, that's right, you do fire. Okay. So yeah, that's 10. So as you... it begins to burn instead, and as you see it melt away, it opens freely for you to see Smokey lying peacefully, cuddled into a very silent...
I just jump onto his bed and it's like, get up!
Well, instead it's just more like a silent moment of...
You still do it.
There's undulation,
Yeah,
there's no sound.
My abjuration thing comes up and just tries to protect me automatically. But yeah. And is it actually silent while I am too?
It's completely... You can't do anything in silence, can you?
I mean, well, I feel myself shaking awake, and when the smoke
you wake
clears,
up
I
to the
see...
motion. It's like an earthquake.
Yeah.
It's like just a...
Yeah, I see Varkesh.
Yeah.
Like...
Just pick up Winnie and shake it in front of his face.
Smokey starts grabbing his things, and which is probably just his backpack, and then he'll just... We're leaving the room, and I'm trying to exit the inn.
Okay.
Yeah, and Winnie's kind of running in front of them, kind of guiding them a little bit.
Is that right? So you definitely find Winnie guiding you out as you look around. Varkesh, do you see that Rook's door is closed? You want to go for Rook's door?
Well, I'm following
I
Smokey.
think it's open. Rook's door is open.
Yeah, it would be, but
No.
no.
Oh no!
Not
It's
dimension door. So at the moment, you only know one ally's with you.
Winnie is ignoring Rook's door, if that means anything.
Both of you make intelligence checks for me.
All right. Boasting
Funny.
the thing. Hey, look at that.
All right.
Animal instincts.
Intelligence. It's way down there. There it is. Intelligence. There we go.
Okay, you both have enough
Give
of
each other the
insight
nod.
as you look and see that Winnie isn't bothered with Rook's room, and you kind of take a quick moment to assess it and realize with a nod, as Lulu's about to try and barge through to get Rook's door, she's kind of doing the jiggle thing, you just kind of grab her and she just gets out of the silent ball as you look at each other. What is it?
Winnie's saying we gotta go. I trust Winnie with Valindra.
All right, fine, darlings, go. I'll follow behind.
What? How far behind? Can't
right
you
behind
run?
you, right behind. Go.
All right.
As you are just all making your way noisily down the stairs and running outside, are you guys being stealthy or are you just running?
Do you think Varkesh is capable of being stealthy while running?
He could try. He could try. He could absolutely try.
I mean, it's like
Smokey.
watching Godzilla in a foot race.
Yeah, because Smokey going stealth is like half speed, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I can't keep up with them and try and be stealthy, but I'll try and. Yeah, we're running.
All right, as you are running and booking it down the street, heading towards the gate area that Winnie is leading you towards, you're making a bit of a scene as the large blue dragonborn and
Half dragon! Damn it!
Sorry, well, the large blue dragon creature is making his way down the street along with a pair of other individuals, one human, the other also still human, I guess?
I cast it pretty late,
Yeah, it's not quite... it would be 10. It would be past 10, so yours is gone. The illusion has
I
faded.
cast it again, like, after when we were running, though.
After you were running? Oh.
Like, after we left the temple.
Well, yeah, it wasn't that many. Yeah.
Up to you.
No, at this moment, they came in later at night. Varkesh spent a good late hour doing it. It's like near 11.
Sure.
But yeah, you're normal. You're normal. You're just Rook. Sorry, you're just Smokey. As they make their way all the way down towards the gate, you can then... What's your perceptions again?
14.
15 and 14?
What's Lulu's? Come on, Lulu, pull through.
Oh, I don't know. She's not going to be that high. She's going to be less than you guys.
Not 20.
What? You mean she's not that smart? What?
No, she's not that
fine.
perceptive.
That's wise.
Ooh. All right. As you're making your way down, you notice that there are a pair of Kenku. Well, actually, what was your passive perception? 14, Varkash.
We're both above 12.
14.
14. So you only see one, but you see
Yeah.
that there is a Kenku that is pursuing and watching you and is following where you're going.
But
Do
they're
you
not
want
openly attacking us.
Nope, they're just using you.
Split up flanking maneuvers.
No, they will kill us!
They might kill you, but it's me. And I just book it right, and I go down the right way.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you
okay.
split. Okay.
I will be yelling at him to not do this.
Son of a bitch!
Oh my gosh, will I go with him? Shit.
Lulu
Yeah,
just,
because honestly, he's my best chance to stay alive anyways.
Lulu just goes, follow him, darling. I'll keep an eye and I'll tell them what's going on. Go, Winnie. As she follows Winnie.
Stay with her. I'm grabbing her by the arm and I'm dragging her with me.
Make a grapple attack.
Smokey's about to have an
Smokey has
aneurysm.
had it.
Make a grapple attack.
I'm actually not terrible at these. Athletics. Here we go.
Can roll.
Just
10.
Sadly, no, it
imagine
does
his
not hit.
hackles around.
As you try to grab onto her as she continues moving, you're just like, no! There she's
Well, the
gone,
grapple
Winnie.
is contested. It's not a special attack thing.
Oh, it's not a special attack?
No, it's a special attack, but it's not like a roll to hit. It's a contested athletics
Yeah, so
versus
contested.
athletics or
Alright, she
acrobatics.
rolls a 20.
She just
Well,
fucking flexes and bounces you up.
She's using acrobatics to get away, but she just continues on as you try to... And just, there she goes.
I follow Varkash
All right,
and I will
you-
yell for Winnie. Winnie, over here!
Melinda's not listening at the moment. Once she gets where she's supposed to be, though, she is gonna, like, hover down and say, okay, keep an eye out, drink some healing potions, give me 2 seconds, and then I'm gonna flash into Winnie's eyes so I can see, like, what's going on with them.
Okay. As this is basically happening, they would have split off at that point. As Smokey and Varkash head towards the alley to see where they can find their Kenku that seems to be hot on your trail. As you look and see, Winnie is now connected with you at that point. You can see Lulu is behind, and he's relaying information to you quickly. Lulu came back. Varkash was joining. They went and got Smokey. They saw the chaos. He's bringing them to you, but then they saw something in the distance, and those two have split off. That's as much as you know.
I'm gonna speak through Winnie. Lulu, where the hell are Smokey and Varkash? Where did they go?
Sorry, darling. That's startling. They went back that way. They saw something in the shadows.
Oh my god, can
Where
you
are you?
turn invisible, dimension door,
No.
anything?
No!
You have powers! What are your
Those kinds of
powers?
powers, darling.
What?
I'm more of the charmer.
Oh my god, we'll charm your way out of this!
What? Darling, where are you? I'm coming to you. Where are you?
No, Winnie's gonna look for Kinku.
Okay, make a perception check for Winnie.
My hope is that I split down to make them follow me.
Scott, I'm
Okay.
Plus.
Wait, what are you sorry about? No. Well, it's
No,
not
20.
Winnie is able
I didn't say sorry. I said I'm upset.
about what?
Winnie is able to discern this, and you can see in the distance a little bit of like the motion of Varkash at that point, just kind of, and the whole calamity, and you can just hear the sounds and the rah! This little sound of Varkash just kind of echoing, and Smokey's going Varkash. There's like this little
Okay,
faint
I'm
trail there.
going to, as Winnie, say, Lulu, go back to the Traders Hall, make sure that they know that people might be looking for you. Stay there, we'll contact you tomorrow. And then Winnie's gonna take off after.
Darling, I'm not leaving you behind.
No, you're not leaving us behind. You might be leading people straight to us. You have to go.
They already are on you, darling, and I should help.
Lulu, you can't charm your way out of this. Go to the Traders Hall now.
Make an intimidation check.
Oh, intimidation through Winnie. God.
It's you. You're speaking through Winnie.
Oh, it's me.
Yes.
I'm not very intimidating.
Yelling at our allies to go away.
All right. She looks at you and goes, "Darling, I understand your frustration, but I need to make sure you're all right. Where are you? I'll come to you."
Lulu, I promise we are fine. Go to the Traders Hall.
I think one of us is going to have a heart attack
Fine,
soon.
darling. I will find you soon, and I will bring allies as she goes off towards the trader's hall.
Bunch of traders.
And then Winnie will I'll tell Winnie to go find Smokey and Varkash, even though... And he's gonna be letting out his little chirpy noise for them.
Okay, as Winnie just goes pick, 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 all the way down, trying to get the attention of Varkesh and Smokey, he heads towards the corner alley, ducking into the shadows, as you and Rook are still at the front. Rook is finishing the potions, and you two have a decision if you wish to go or stay. And that is where we'll end it for tonight, as you are split with the party going one way and the other. We'll
At least it's not 3 ways!
Holy heck.
But yes, congratulations, good job all. No one died, Rook was not abducted. We'll see how well you can hold out against these 2 Kenku.
Jesus.
Pastor and assassin, no big deal.
Can Smokey...
Never mind.
I have level 1 and level 2 spells.
Fuck. So Dimension Door is right out.
Oh no. I will tell you I have sleep, mage armor, and hold person.
Sleep would be fine.
The whole person also would be fine.
Hold person would be great if I can get a sight of him.
Yep.
So there are options. So he's not entirely useless, but he's got a lot of HP. He's full HP.
Yes. Well, great job, everyone, and thank you all for joining us. I really appreciate you all spending the evening enjoying a game of Dungeons & Dragons with me and my lovely cast of players, Kayla, Scott, Cody, and Connor. We run every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and of course, anytime you spend with us, you are accumulating loyalty points, which you can use to spend to influence the game, just as we did influence Valindra's effect with the Ebony Empress. So, we'll see what happens next week as we return to the exciting adventures of the party. But from all of us, thank you so much. Have a great evening, everybody.
Good night.
Bye. Hope you enjoyed our plight.
And I was like, ambushed by murder birds.
Murder birds.
Again.
But yes, I'm just waiting to see if it links just a little bit back, because sometimes I don't want to literate you guys. But still, goodbye, everybody. We're in that for infinite goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.